we present plays from the four corners of the world. Comedy, drama, suspense, true life adventure in Tuesday Theatre.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. It was a mineral earth, a core of nickel iron encased in a mantle of dense rock, its surface more hostile to life than the face of the moon. An earth cocooned in clouds of its own making, of steam, smoke, and noxious gas that blotted out the sun. Ages passed. The cooling rains helped to break up the crust of this earth, filling the sunken plains and valleys with water to form the seas and oceans. The clouds thinned, the sun filtered through them, and there was light. Long ages passed, and there was life. Spawned in the warm oceans, life spread to the land, where tiny plants took root, forerunners of the green tide that was to creep over the earth, making it possible for man and beast to breathe and eat. Without plants, our world would die, and every living creature with it. But only now are the pioneers, men like Professor Reed, whom you are about to meet, beginning to recognize plants for what they are. Sentient creatures able to communicate and eager to cooperate with man in his desperate need to save this polluted earth.
The cactus at the gate.
Craftsmanship is mastership. The creative art of the old masters finds its counterpart in the exacting skill devoted to the making of Rembrandt van Rijn, the masterpiece in cigarettes.
Firestone has an endless steel belt that takes the radial principle to its ultimate efficiency, always laying the tread firmly on the road, even while accelerating, braking, and cornering. Firestone. Firestone steel belt radials, the most efficient tires. Firestone, it's the endless steel belt that makes the difference. Firestone.
An industrialist's winter nightmare.
Please, engine, start. I'm sorry you spent the cold night without Castrol antifreeze.
Save starting time, prevent costly damage. Use Castrol antifreeze so your engines sleep warm.
It was very kind of you to meet me at the station, Professor.
Not at all, Fleur. After all, you're the daughter of my old colleague, Dr. Fielding. I just hope you enjoy the job, that's all.
Working with the eminent Professor Reed, whose experiments with plants have already startled the scientific world. How can I fail to enjoy it? I can't wait to start.
Oh, you might find it a little lonely out here. That's what I'm afraid of. Even a little spooky.
Spooky?
Well, it's an old farmhouse, you know, miles from anywhere. You'll see it as we come round this bend.
It looks enchanting. Those blinding white gables.
Cape Dutch. Centuries old, and as winter comes, inclined to be somewhat damp.
If that's all I have to put up
No,
with.
it won't be. For one thing, there'll be highly irregular hours. You have the basic training I need. But the time has come for all of us to go beyond those disciplines. The ancient Greeks believed that plants had souls, that nymphs dwelt in trees.
And you, Professor? What do you believe?
Just you wait one moment, and I'll give you a little demonstration.
Stay there. I'll get out and open it.
There's no need to. I'll ask my friend to open it.
can't see any friend, so it must be some form of radio control or the interrupted beam of a photoelectric cell.
Yes, it could be either, I grant you. But no, it's a friend. A friend percipient enough to read my thoughts. His name is Sirius.
Night blooming Sirius? The cactus by the gate, you mean?
That's the one. Ever heard of a fellow called Sauvin?
Vaguely. Well, isn't he an American electronics engineer who worked with plants at some stage?
Yes, that's the man. He once worked for aerospace, but he was fascinated by extrasensory perception. And he didn't see why plants should not share this so-called phenomenon with other living creatures. Did you hear of his experiments with the toy electric train and the philodendron?
I don't remember the details.
Well, briefly, he wired the philodendron to a galvanometer. Then he found that when he gave himself a small electric shock, the philodendron winced in sympathy, causing the needle of the galvanometer to jump. And it was simple enough to get this needle to trip a switch that would put the electric train into reverse. And then he found that he didn't have to give himself an electric shock. It was enough to remember the pain of it. And again, the philodendron would wince, throwing the train into reverse. It was all on American TV.
Oh, it's uncanny. What does it mean, Professor Reed?
It means, my dear, that plants have an awareness that the ancients perhaps realized, but that modern man is only now beginning to rediscover. Plants are sensitive to color wavelengths, for instance, far beyond the range of the human eye, and to sounds inaudible to the human ear. They have an energy field that overlaps our own, and in this way, they're able to share our emotions. Ah, Francois, good morning to you.
Morning.
Fleur, I want you to meet your new colleague, Francois Dutoy, Fleur Fielding.
How do you do?
Francois is the electronics genius around here.
Of course. The cactus at the gate. I still can't get over it.
Oh, I merely supplied the circuitry. It was Professor Reed who established the contact. The true contact, that is, not just the electrodes.
Oh, it's still far beyond my powers of understanding. I've been puzzling over it all night.
No, you'll get used to it. You've just got to accept that plants are not just, well, not just wood from the roots up.
I think I've got as far as accepting that.
Now, you're a botanist, Fleur. You know how plants react to physical stimuli and obstacles. Now, who would have thought that there was enough strength in a mushroom to tilt up a slab of concrete? We must assume that plants have some kind of intelligence. And the mammoth task ahead of us here is to find some means of communicating with it. Ah, good morning, Pauline.
Morning.
Meet Fleur Fielding, our new botanist. Fleur, Miss Lennox, our administrative officer.
It sounds very grand, Fleur, but I'm really just the bookkeeper, secretary.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Moonshine Manor. That's what I call it.
Come on.
The nonsense that goes on around here. And it's catching, that's the trouble. I find myself avoiding the weeds in the path in case they complain to the professor of ill treatment.
Now, Pauline, I'm not as fanatical as all that. Pass the marmalade, Francois.
Oh.
Ah, thanks.
Anyway, it's nice to know there's someone around here with both feet on the ground, Pauline.
Oh, I'm not alone, thank heavens. There's our aptly named Adam.
He sounds like a gardener.
Which is exactly what he is. Although he's on the books as a horticulturist.
The best horticulturalist I know, even if he's never opened a book on the subject. Adam is a practical man who knows his onions and loves every other plant besides.
Rather more than he loves human beings, I'd say, Professor.
Oh, I grant you that. Adam is the grumpiest green thumb in the business. But I'm used to him, and I like him as he is, even though he practically blows his top every time I ask him to do anything.
He sounds quite a character, Professor. I look forward to meeting him. It must be Mr. Jenkins.
Adam to the professional staff, miss.
I'm Fleur Fielding, Adam.
Fielding, did you say, miss? Not
Yes, Dr. Roy Fielding's daughter. Did you know him, Adam?
worked under him, I did, at the old Agricultural Institute. Must be 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, nearer 20. I was 3 years old when it happened.
Sad time for all of us it was. I would have done anything for him, miss. A proper gentleman.
I can only just remember him. It was a tremendous shock to my mother when he took his own life. She never really got over it, poor darling.
Professor Reed was a friend of his, you might say. Of course, he was only a lecturer in those days, junior to your dad.
I know. It was probably because of the old association that he took me on here.
Gave me quite a turn, it did, seeing you, miss. You're very like him in some ways.
Oh?
Odd to have a Fielding back in the team, as you might say. Makes me think something's bound to happen.
Oh, it's you, Francois. Oh, you startled me.
I didn't expect to find you out here, Fleur.
Such a lovely night. I came to admire the cactus. Oh, so many of its flowers are out.
And the moths are busy. I don't blame them. Those fragrant, creamy white bells. I see so little of you, Fleur. You've been here over 2 months.
But, Francois, we meet every day at meals.
Alone, I mean. Like this, in the warm dark.
Francois, we're colleagues. Fellow scientists.
What difference does that make? We're man and woman. We belong to the same generation. We've many of the same interests.
I have a job to do.
So have I. That doesn't make me immune to falling in love with you.
Francois.
It's true, Fleur. You must be aware of it.
But I've done nothing to encourage you, Francois. The work I'm doing leaves me little time for romance.
It leaves you plenty of time for chatting with people like the professor. Even old Adam.
Do I have to explain?
Can't you trust me?
I hope so. Both Professor Reed and Adam were at the old agricultural college at the time of my father's suicide.
I still don't understand. What are you trying to find out?
Why he did such a thing. He had everything to live for. A beautiful wife, no debts to speak of. Qualifications that would have led to a brilliant career. Yet he had to go and shoot himself through the head.
Could it have been murder?
No. He left a note. A note of explanation. Just words of apology and farewell.
Oh, Fleur, it all happened nearly 20 years ago. What's the point of reopening old wounds? What good will it do?
Someone drove him to do it. I want to find out who that someone was.
And if you find out, what will you do then?
That, Francois, will be for me to decide.
Now, distinguished smoking comes to mild cigarettes in king-size length. Dunhill's Superior Mild, king size. A mild, rewarding cigarette in the Dunhill tradition. Made with patience, care, and infinite skill to bring mildness to the gentle art of smoking. Now in king-size length, Dunhill's Superior Mild, from the most distinguished tobacco house in the world.
One of the world's great tastes is superbly matured brandy. And this is what you will enjoy in every glass of Viceroy Old Liqueur brandy. Aged and mellowed to perfection for people with the time to enjoy it, savor it, linger over it. Viceroy, the brandy of matchless maturity. Viceroy.
Every time you see them smile, you know their teeth are more than white. You know they're healthier too. La 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 la.
Regular brushing with McLean's helps reduce decay by getting teeth clean, while the fluoride in McLean's is proven to make them stronger.
Oh, every time they smile, it shows. It shows you chose McLean's.
Morning, sir. You're up early.
It's the best time to take specimens before the sun dries them out.
True. I hope I didn't upset you last night. I wasn't going to say anything.
Please, don't say anything more, Francois. Let's forget it. We have to work together, remember?
Does that mean there's no hope for me?
Oh, what's Betsy barking at? Oh, what's she found?
I better have a look. She might have come across a puff adder. Hey, stop it! Betsy! Betsy! It's the professor. He's dead. Someone's killed him with a spade.
I had a 10 o'clock appointment with Professor Reed, Captain Basson, and that's what brought me here.
Nasty shock for you, Mr. Pinfold, finding the professor dead.
Not merely dead, Captain, but brutally murdered. And I trust you will lose no time in finding out who did it.
That's what I'm trying to do, sir. You knew Professor Reed well, you say?
For the last 5 years, yes, but only in my professional capacity as attorney to the Lindley Trust. The Trust kept this place going.
If I may say so, sir, you don't sound very approving.
I don't mind telling you, Captain, that I was against the grant from the beginning. It's 50,000 a year, you know, not exactly chicken feed. But Horace Lindley had a bee in his bonnet. I don't wish to be disrespectful in any way to my late client, or to the professor, for that matter, but, between the two of them, they had some very weird ideas about botany, about plants. From what I could make out, they believed that plants were capable of absorbing and transmitting information, though just how, I can't say. Poppycock, if you ask me.
Yes, certainly sounds like it, sir. Did they manage to run this place on 50,000 a year?
No. They had other smaller grants from other institutions, but the Lindley Trust provided the main income.
Mm-hmm. And you kept an eye on the spending of it, I suppose?
Professor Reed kept me informed, yes. I always made a point of studying the annual audit.
Come in, Miss Fielding. Sit down, please. I'm sorry to have to question you again, but, well, I'd like some further information from you, if I may.
Of course, Captain.
The research post you occupy here was advertised, you said. You applied for it, and Professor Reed gave you a 2-year contract.
That is correct.
This type of research interests you?
Very much.
You had no ulterior motive in applying for the job here?
Why do you ask?
I'm asking the questions, Miss Fielding. Please answer yes or no.
Yes, I did have an ulterior motive, as you put it, Captain Besson. My father committed suicide when I was very young, and all my life the mystery of it has haunted me.
Hmm? And you thought you'd find the answer to that mystery here?
Possibly, yes. My father and the professor were not only colleagues at one time, but close friends. For some reason, they quarreled shortly before my father's death. I wanted to find out why.
For what reason, Miss Fielding?
To satisfy a daughter's natural curiosity, Captain. Isn't that reason enough?
I wonder. A more compelling reason, I'd say, would be a desire for revenge.
But this is ridiculous, Captain Besson. Whoever murdered Professor Reed was a cold-blooded killer.
I'm not denying it, Mr. Dutoy. Whoever killed him struck him savagely on the head from behind with that spade. With the edge of it, intending to kill. A woman could have done it.
Not a woman like Fleur Fielding.
Why not? She more or less admitted that she came here to avenge her father's death.
But there's no evidence to indicate that the professor had anything to do with it.
She might have discovered some. And you yourself have told me that you found her almost at the scene of the crime.
But he couldn't have been lying there dead last night when I was talking to her.
How do you know?
Well, if he was, I swear that Fleur knew nothing about it. She was far too gentle, too composed.
She might have been putting on an act, for all you know. You admitted that your unexpected appearance startled her.
Well, naturally it did. She was sitting there in the dark.
Why? Why, Mr. Dutoy?
Admiring the night-blooming cereus, that cactus at the gate.
Oh, yes?
You don't believe me. For heaven's sake, why suspect Fleur? What about Penfold?
What about him?
Yeah. What about him? He could have done it. He always resented the fact that old Horace Lindley subsidized most of the work carried out here through a grant from the trust he set up before he died. Yeah. Now I remember. In terms of the old man's will, the grant was to terminate on the professor's death. We'd all be out of a job. The place will have to close down.
And you suspect Penfold?
Well, a more likely suspect than Fleur Fielding, I can tell you. We're not so very far from Worcester, where Penfold lives. He could have motored over last night.
Can I interrupt you, Miss Lennox?
Oh, of course, Captain Besson. Anything I can do to help?
You were so busy.
It's not important, really. Just some odd reports David asked me to type.
David?
The professor, I mean.
How long have you known him, Miss Lennox?
Years and years.
Hmm. May I ask you a personal question?
You've asked me so many personal questions already. Why stop now?
Were you in love with him?
Why do you ask?
You've been crying.
I ran his office for him, Captain Besson. A 40-year-old spinster, always merry and bright. That was me.
It doesn't answer my question.
David Reed was hardly aware of my existence, Captain. He lived for his work. Women didn't enter into it. But if you must know... Yes, I loved him. David.
I know this must be very painful for you, Miss Lennox, but I won't keep you long. Mr. Pinfold said something about a grant.
50,000 a year from the Lindley Trust. But it didn't go very far. Poor David. He had no idea of finance. The equipment he bought, the money he spent, much of it in cash. I was always pestering him for receipts.
Come in, Captain Besson. How are things going?
I seem to be getting nowhere fast, Mr. Dutoy.
What did old Adam have to say?
Very little. I had a feeling he was playing dumb.
He can't tell you what he doesn't know.
I still think he's important, if only because he's the common denominator between Fielding's suicide and Professor Reed's murder. He was certainly in the vicinity on both occasions.
Old Adam, in spite of his gruff manner, is one of the gentlest people I've ever met. I can't see him murdering anybody, especially the Professor. They were old friends.
I still think he's involved somehow.
Doubt it. There's no motive. The chances are that some drunken labourer the Professor had sacked at some stage came back and smashed in his head with a spade as an act of revenge.
That's a possibility, but a remote one.
Suppose I could produce a witness.
What do you mean?
To the murder.
A witness, you say?
A cactus. The one at the gate. Professor Reed planted it, cherished it. It registered pleasure at his approach. That's how it was possible to wire it up so it'd open the gate. It's my belief that it will register terror at the approach of his murderer.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Dutoy.
Now, let me say this, Captain Besson, without going into the technicalities. I've learned enough here to know that plants have responses to outside stimuli, even to someone who evokes love or fear. And we have the means of deciphering them.
Rothman's Extra Length, finest filter, and the best tobacco money can buy give true king-size flavor. That's why, all over the world, Rothman's King Size is offered with pride, accepted with pleasure. Rothman's King Size really satisfies.
Hi, Pete. Come on over.
Ah, thanks, Tom.
Hey, I see you're onto Pilsner too.
Yes, I like to start on beer and stay with it. Pilsner's the answer. It's less filling and, man, it's full of flavor.
That's Hansa for you. Cheers.
Hansa Pilsner is the perfect beer to have when you're having more than one. You get all the true beer satisfaction you want and an average of 24% less carbohydrates. Hansa, for Pilsner lightness. It's a world trend.
If you want a magazine that's full of fun and has something for every member of the family, this week and every week, you should get...
It's the only magazine that's a part of the scene of everyone in the family. And you'll find out why when you go out to buy family radio and TV. Family radio and TV.
Someone coming through the gate. I think it's old Adam.
If your theory is correct.
Yeah, if he's guilty, the plant will respond frantically. You will hear the oscillations. So much for your witness.
Give it a chance.
Who's this now?
It's either Fleur or Pauline. I'm not sure. It's too dark.
Whoever it is, she'll soon be within range of the cactus.
It's her, Captain. It's the murderess.
Hey, what's she doing? She's destroying the cactus. She's thrown petrol over it, set it on fire. And set herself on fire, too. It wasn't easy to get Adam to talk. Pauline Lennox was his sister's child, a very willful woman, even when young. Dr. Fielding met her through Adam. He was a very sensitive man, very much ashamed of himself, fearful for his career. He committed suicide when Pauline told him she was to bear his child. The child miscarried, and David Reed, who had quarreled with his friend Fielding over his association with Pauline, eventually took pity on her and gave her a job.
But why did she kill the professor, Captain Besson?
I think Mr. Pinfold can answer that one, Miss Fielding.
Well, briefly, Miss Fielding, to keep him quiet. And she did it on the eve of my visit, not knowing what I might find out. As far as I can tell, there's about 20,000 of trust funds missing. With Professor Reed dead and his death laid at the door of some casual labourer, she could have got away with the money and pinned the blame onto the professor.
Even so, I can't help feeling sorry for Pauline Lennox. She lived in a world of make-believe.
I've been wondering, Francois. Suppose David Reed were knocking a little too closely at some forbidden door. Suppose mankind cannot yet be trusted with the kind of knowledge he was about to reveal. Then she might well prove to be merely an instrument of some guardian fate.
Listen again at the same time next week when we shall bring you another comedy, drama, or play of suspense in Tuesday Theatre. We present plays from the four corners of the world. Comedy, drama, suspense, true life adventure in Tuesday Theatre.
Found a bottle of Fanta, opened the cap. My long lost smile is back. Fanta, Fanta, it's a bottle of fun. Fanta, Fanta's just a bottle of fun. It's like a fountain of flavor, a smile with your clown, a rainbow to slide on, a peacock to ride on. But when it's all said and done, Fanta, Fanta's just a bottle of fun. Fanta, Fanta's just...
Won't you please accept these flowers?
When a stranger suddenly starts giving you things, that's Impulse. Impulse is the new perfumed body spray with gentle Shield deodorant. And now it comes in Inspiration, Encounter, and Interlude. 3 fragrances, but the same basic impulse. An impulse men just can't help responding to.
Excuse me, won't you please accept these flowers?
Ford Granada. There's a feeling of quiet strength about it. The Granada's fully independent suspension, ventilated disc brakes, new halogen headlights, and V6 or V8 engines give you quiet comfort, superb fuel economy. Ford Granada. Get the feel of total engineering.
Ford has a better idea.
Well, there's the boarding house. Suits us perfectly. It's got back rooms, do you see?
Do you mean to tell me that this is the only hostelry that this heathen town can offer?
And now look here, Jones, you can't expect a Savoy at Port Nolloth.
But to think that people live here from choice. They must be right out of their minds. There was nothing to recommend this wretched place. Absolutely nothing. Heat, flies,
Look, if you
desert.
feel so badly, why the devil did you come?
The thought of a nice, quick profit tempted me. It would tempt any man.
Well, in that case, stop grumbling.
Ah, there. That's a much happier sight. A pub. Come on.
Just a minute, Jones. Remember the agreement.
Agreement?
Keep off the booze until after.
Oh,
you talk too much and we can't risk any
Dear
talk.
friend, how right you are. We can't risk any talk until after. And then... Oh, can't you see it all, Sandy? Money to burn and bring on the dancing girl.
Aye, but there's a lot to be done before that. Well, let's book into that boarding house. Come on. This is ideal, Jones. Nice and quiet.
Ah, good morning.
Oh, good morning, ma'am. It says here you've got rooms to let.
Yes, that's right. There are 2 large front rooms vacant now. Meals are extra.
Front rooms?
Mm.
We'd prefer them at the back, if it's all the same with you, ma'am.
Rooms at the back, but...
We would prefer them at the back, madam.
Oh.
You see, it's on account of our business.
Oh, really? Well, what business is this?
We sell equipment, which means we are away a great deal, so we won't trouble you at all, madam. And, of course, rent in advance.
Oh, well, in that case...
Could we see the rooms?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, come this way. You're, strangers hereabouts, aren't you?
That's right. Strangers to this beautiful country. I find the history truly fascinating. I'm told they call the road into Port North from the Cape the oldest in South Africa.
Oh, really? Well, that's the first I've heard about it. But I'll believe you. Are you, a teacher or a preacher, Mr...
Jones, dear lady, Jones. I am by profession a salesman.
Salesman? Here at Port North? What do you sell?
Engineering equipment.
Engineering equipment?
Aye.
Who would buy that here?
Oh, it's an exceptionally quick selling line.
Really? Oh, well... here's one of the rooms.
Oh, ideal, dear lady. Quite ideal. Cupboards, and a comfortable bed, and curtains. I congratulate you, madame.
Well, it's a pleasure, I'm sure.
Where would the back door be situated, ma'am?
The back door? Oh, well, it's down this passage, but I really...
We inquire, madam, because of the late hours we keep. It would be most inconsiderate to wake the household when we come in.
Oh, well, that's very thoughtful of you. Believe me, it's not many folk who think like that. Now then, the other room is...
Does this interleading door here open?
Well, it's locked now, but I could give you the key.
Oh, that's the ticket, ma'am. Just what we want. Well, how much a week for these 2?
£2.10 a piece. On account of the carpets and everything, I usually ask much more.
Oh, I'm sure you do, madame, and rightly so. Here, allow me to pay you now.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, there's just one more thing.
Yes?
We don't want anyone in our rooms, not in any circumstances.
Oh, but the cleaning and all that...
Well, you'll find us very clean gentlemen.
You see, our equipment is very valuable, and we couldn't risk anything.
Oh, well.
Considering that we have made this rather unusual stipulation, it seems only fair to give you another £1 apiece more for the rooms.
Oh.
Here, madame.
Thank you.
We'll move in now, if that will be in order. If you'll excuse us, we'll collect our equipment.
I do wish you wouldn't go on and on, Jones. I mean, that road business wasn't necessary.
Now, the scene had to be set. Didn't you notice that she accepted us once she thought I was a preacher?
She never accepted us for a moment. I don't like her. She's too inquisitive.
Everything is working out exceptionally well.
If you ask me, Jones, it's all too easy.
My dear fellow, that is a ridiculous statement to make. It's only easy because we have planned with care, and we have worked on my hunch.
Your hunch? Your hunch, you call it? Let me tell you, Jones, that this is something
It's
I've been...
all right, dear fellow, your hunch.
Aye.
But this can't go wrong. There is no reason to allow your natural Scottish pessimism to take over. All will be well.
Now, listen.
When the time is ripe, dear friend, we will leave this wretched backwater with a fortune in our pockets. And that's the important thing. Now, don't you think we could go across to the pub and have just a quick...
No.
Oh,
Not until after, Jones.
And you can blessed well do what you like.
I've Just let the 2 back rooms, Tom. £3.10 apiece.
£3.10 apiece? You asked that for the back room?
Well, I asked 2.10.
So?
So one of them offered an extra £1 if no one went into their rooms.
Sounds fishy to me.
Well, you see, they said they were in business, selling equipment. They keep late hours, and that's why they wanted the back rooms.
They must be up to the usual. When 2 blokes come here and ask for back rooms and pay top prices for them, they can only be up to one thing.
Oh, you think maybe I shouldn't have let the rooms?
Oh, you did right thing, my love. I'm proud of you. All that concerns us is that they're paying well. What they're up to or why is their affair. But don't go talking about them to your friends, whatever you do.
Oh, no, I won't say a word.
Ever since that school teacher went for a walk over near the common and shook that perfect diamond out of her shoe, thinking it was a pebble, we've had a strange collection of characters hereabouts, and the police don't like it.
Well, I don't see what business it is of theirs.
Well, all these stones hereabout belong to the government. You know the law. You can't go picking them up and selling them. That's illicit diamond dealing. And they clamp down hard on it.
Well, yes, I... now, who's that?
It's all right, I'll go.
Good afternoon. Do you let rooms?
That's right, mister.
My friend and I want a couple of rooms for a week or 2.
Oh, well...
there's the ones in the front, Tom.
Oh, that's right, mister. We've 2 rooms in the front. Our best rooms.
Oh, that'll suit us splendidly. Thank you.
£2.10 a week with meals extra. Payable in advance.
Thank you. That sounds ideal. We'll go and get our things and pay you then.
I don't remember seeing you 2 gentlemen hereabouts.
No, we've just pulled in.
Business?
That's right. Business. We're travelling men.
Oh, I see.
Well, we'll push off and get our things. See you later.
Oh, don't be too long. I can't hold the rooms indefinitely.
There won't be any need to. Give us 10 minutes and we'll be back.
We seem to be in luck. 4 rooms gone in as many minutes.
Oh, I'm not so sure about the luck part of it.
Oh, what do you mean, love?
Did you see those 2 beauties, Daisy?
Well, no, but I heard them, though. They seemed nice and gentlemanly enough.
A couple of plainclothesmen. As obvious as that.
Police?
Yeah, could tell them anyway. They were police, all right.
But, Tom, what do they want here? We aren't up to anything, and we keep a respectable house.
Oh, we're innocent enough, lass. But others hereabouts aren't. Those 2 have taken a back room. What about them? Perhaps the police are watching them.
Oh, no. We've never had trouble here, not in all the years we've been letting out rooms. Here, do you think we ought to warn the others?
You must mind your own business, Daisy, and let the men and the police mind theirs. We want no trouble either way, and they're both paying good money.
Yes, that's true. Of course they are.
Yeah, if the men are professionals, they'll see who these 2 are, and if they aren't, well, then they must learn from experience. So let's stay put and see what happens. It could be interesting.
Braganza Flavor Flow tea bags have been so popular that demand has exceeded supply. But we've put this right. Now you can get all you want. Strong, invigorating tea at less than 1 cent a cup. Join the new trend in tea. Flavor Flow tea bags. Quick and easy, no waste, no loose tea leaves. First in South Africa with a 30-pack. Braganza Flavor Flow. The modern tea for modern tastes.
When times are sort of ordinary, liven things up a little with life. Those rich, fragrant tobaccos bring you the good taste all over again. The taste of life.
Life is what it's all about. Light up a life today and say,
Oh man, life is great.
Trees give song to the breeze, home to the birds, shade from the shimmering sun, and living beauty to all our surroundings. So let's plant a tree in 73.
Let's all plant a tree in 73, our Green Heritage Year. Come and test drive a Ford at your Ford dealer. And Ford South Africa will return the compliment by planting a tree on your behalf in spots selected by the Department of Forestry.
give South Africa a tree this year. Simply call it your nearest Ford dealer tomorrow. Pick a Ford, test drive a great car, put some greenery in our South Africa. Plant a tree in 73.
Come on, Jones, come on. The tide's out. This is the only time. If we don't move fast, we'll have to wait until tomorrow.
No, I was checking to see if anyone was following.
Oh, no one's going to follow. In any case, if they do, we'll spot them easily enough.
Not with all this spray, we won't.
Oh, come on. We'll see if we can find a way down over here.
But, Sandy, that is precipitous.
Look, I've got a feeling that this could be the place we're looking for. You know, that vibration underfoot, you feel it?
Well, yes, but...
Well, could be it's hollow below here. Well, that's what we've got to find out. This looks a likely place to climb down
Now,
here.
watch those rocks. They're very loose.
It's safe enough. Our only problem will be the waves. We've got to time this carefully. Oh, come on, Jonesy. It's safe enough down here. Hey, there's a cave. By heavens, it's right underneath. Come on down quickly.
All right, all right.
You see? In there. Hey, there's two of them.
We haven't much time, Sandy. The tide's coming in fast. Watch that way. That nearly dragged me under.
Here, give me a hand. I'll ease myself through this opening.
Oh, for pity's sake, watch out.
Here, give me the torch.
Here.
Hey, the cave's fair size and it falls away a bit. Hey, watch out, it's doubly slippery.
I'm staying where I am until you've had a look.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything here.
It's the same old story, nothing. Chasing a dream. Watch out, another wave. Sandy! Sandy, you all right? Sandy! Sandy, where are you? Sandy, the tide's coming in fast.
Jones, come here.
But the tide.
It's safe enough. Come here, man. Come on.
Oh, what do you see? Where are you, Sandy?
Over here. Hey, that's it. We were right following that hunch, Jones. By heavens, we were right. Look when I flashed the torch. Look!
I've never known them to be away so long.
Well, that's strange. I saw a light in their room not 5 minutes ago.
No, you must have made a mistake, Tom. I know when they're back. I hear them on the stairs. Mind you, I'll hand it to them, you know. They're very thoughtful and considerate gentlemen.
Oh, look, Daisy, I'm not a fool. I saw a light in their room. And what's more, I prove it to you. Come round the back. Come on.
They aren't making a sound, Tom.
Look under the door. You see that light?
Yes. It's strange.
Satisfied now?
Yes, but I usually do hear them when they come in. Mr. Jones passes the time of day.
Daisy, look.
Eh?
The light's gone out.
Yes, so it has. Oh, Tom, they must have heard us.
Perhaps it's someone else.
What?
Shh.
Oh, let's leave it to them, Tommy. This isn't our business.
If there's something fishing going on, we should know.
Oh, Tom, leave that door.
Let's try it. Why, it's open.
Oh, come away.
But, Daisy, they always lock it. I know. I've tried it before.
But, Tom.
I'm pushing the door open. They bolted through the window. I can't see a
Look,
thing.
Tom, I warned you about this. I warned you. We could have been killed. Those men might have been armed. Anything could have happened to us.
I wonder how many men there were.
Well, I don't know. I might have seen two. I can't be sure. Now, do come on, Tom.
They must have been looking through these cases over here.
Oh.
Carpenter's equipment, by the look of it. Hammers, chisels. Well, it looks harmless enough.
Well, I must say they keep this room very tidy, don't they?
I wonder what's in this cupboard.
Oh, Tom, no, please. It's open.
It is, Daisy. Look, spick and span. Clothes and shoes, good quality, too.
Oh, well, now we've seen, so let's go, Tom.
Over here. There's a whole lot of rocks and things. Rocks? Now, I wonder why.
What the devil's going on here?
Oh!
I asked you a question. Didn't I take this room in condition it wasn't open when I was out? I thought I made that perfectly clear. Don't we pay extra money each week just because of this? Well, don't we? We asked for privacy, we paid for it, and we expected it. Now we find you looking through our possessions.
No, but it wasn't us.
What the devil do you mean it wasn't you? Look at my case there. Wide open. And this cupboard's open, too. And weren't you, Mr. Jackson, looking through my specimens over there? Well, can you deny it?
But there's been someone in here.
Yes, that's right. My hubby saw
do you
the
mean?
light from the backyard. We thought we'd better investigate. I mean, I knew you weren't at home because I usually hear you arriving.
Well, that's the honest truth, sir. We tried this door and found it open.
Oh, found it open, eh? But here's the key in my pocket.
I tell you, it was open. And then when I opened the door to come inside, someone jumped through that window.
That's right. You can see the glass everywhere. And this window here splintered to pieces.
We were shocked and surprised, you can imagine.
Of course.
And then you came.
I believe them, Sandy. I believe them.
Well, did you see who it was?
Well, no, not really. It might have been 2 men, but we can't be sure.
2 men?
I'm very sorry about this, Mr. Jones, but you mustn't blame us. I mean, we only did what we thought was right.
Well, we can't sit back and allow burglars to come and go now, can we?
Fair enough, Mr.
That's
Jackson.
right.
Fair enough.
It was a ghastly experience, believe me, Mr. Jones. In all my years as a boarding house keeper, nothing like this has ever happened before. I mean, my hubby and I might well have met our deaths.
Well, they've obviously been looking through these tools. Well, there's nothing missing by the look of it.
Petty thieving, that's all it was, petty thieving. And we should thank you for your prompt action. My friend and I appreciate it, don't we, Sandy?
Oh, aye. Oh, by the way, there's one thing. We'll have finished our business in these parts by the end of next week, so we won't want these rooms after that.
Oh, well, we'll miss you two, gentlemen.
Your business has been successful, then?
Oh, yes, indeed. Our business has been most successful. Now, give me a hand packing these cases.
Look, we'd better get out, Sandy. They must be on to us.
We'll stay and finish the job.
We've collected enough.
And I say we haven't. Look, Jones, if we do this job efficiently and thoroughly, we need never worry again. We can both retire. You can have as many of those fancy dancing girls as you want, but if we pack up now, we're just that much short.
But, Sandy, those fellows living here are a couple of plainclothesmen. We both know that. And they're only here because of us. If that woman hadn't interrupted them the way she did, they could have
searched all night and they would never have found anything. We're too smart, Jones. We're one step ahead of them the whole time. When they finally cotton on to what we've been up to, we will have vanished. Now, don't worry. Now, just pass me these hammers over there.
If they had suspected a false bottom to these cases...
They didn't suspect. Oh, don't stand there, man. Help me with these.
But they'll be back.
But the cases won't be here.
What?
I'm giving them to the Jacksons to watch for us. They've seen them for themselves. They think they're tools. I'll say we're scared of more burglars. They'll understand.
I don't like it. And the police are on to us now.
But they can't prove anything. Nor can they find one scrap of evidence to prove what we're up to. I'm not running away now. Not now. I've got the whole blessed world here in the palm of my hand, and I'm not letting go. Not until I'm ready. I played a hunch, and by heavens, I was right. I said there were diamonds in the Orange River, and from that point southwards, the coast was richly diamondiferous. I said you could pick 'em up if you knew where to look, and I was right again. Don't you realize, Jones, that we could break the whole diamond market if we felt inclined? But we don't feel inclined. We don't want to break anything. We just want to ride comfortably along in the crest of a diamond-studded wave. And that's what we plan to do. And by heavens, we are going to do just that.
I don't want to land in jail.
We won't, I tell you we won't. Oh, now give me a hand with these cases. We'll take them to the Jacksons.
Now, Sandy, listen to me. The government aren't a pack of idiots. They own the coast here for so many miles inland.
Look, I played my hunch and it's paying off. That's all I care about. I don't give a darn for the government or anything else. We found Aladdin's cave deep down there in the cliffs. We found it. You and me. No one knows it's there except the two of us. No one has ever worked things out the way I have. It belongs to me.
and I plan to make use of it and enjoy it. And when the right moment comes, step out lively and live comfortably. But until that moment, I stay here, and no bungling policemen are going to scare me away.
Well, it's your hand, Sandy, so I suppose it's up to you to handle it the way you want to. But don't overplay it. That's all I ask. Don't overplay it, whatever you do.
There they go, Fonsale. And this time we mustn't let them give us the slip.
Every time they vanish, just like that. Vanish! I don't know how they do it. I don't know where they can get to.
Yes, but we can keep close to them this morning because of the mist.
They must be onto something big. I believe the Jones bloke was at the pub last night. Marwick said he was ready to talk when the Scot arrived and dragged him away.
They're pretty smart. Had a good look at their cases last night. Only tools, all very respectable.
That's right, yes.
A shred of evidence to suggest what they were really up to. As you say, Fonsale, this is something big, not petty pilfering of a few stones.
The boss agrees. That's why we mustn't miss them again this morning. There they go along the top of the cliffs.
We'd better move in a bit nearer.
Right. These bushes here will give us enough cover.
Oh, no, the sun's coming through. It happens every time.
Well, there's still enough mist to cover us.
No. This is the spot they usually vanish. Don't take your eyes off them, Fonsale.
They aren't going to get away this time. Hey, watch out. Jones is looking round.
Back behind these rocks.
They seem very edgy this morning. I suppose they were scared last night.
I wonder if they've seen us.
No, there they go again. Oh, come on. Hobbs, well, I'm vanished.
Completely vanished.
But man alive, they can't have vanished. I mean, I saw them here, and... Well, I tell you, this isn't possible.
Wait a minute. You see the edge of the cliff here? It's worn down.
That's right. This could be a path.
But the spray and the waves, it's deadly dangerous. And
Wait a minute, Hobbs. Come and stand here. Feel that vibration?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, there could be a cave lower down. The tide's going out. See those waves?
Yes. Let's explore this cliff face. They must climb down here, and that's why we can never find them. They must time this with the tide going out.
There's a trap down here, but take it easy. The rocks are loose.
Watch this way. Careful.
All right, Hobbs.
All right.
There's a cave here. Careful. Don't want them to see us. Oh, there's some hammering there. Come on, Hobbs. The rocks here are slippery as the very devil.
And there's a light. That is the wretched wave. It nearly got me.
I tell you, Sandy, that those two are on to us this morning. I saw them following.
Oh, forget about them, children. What faster, man? What faster? We haven't got long before the tide comes in.
This is the last time I come here, and that's fine.
Oh, get on with that job and stop talking.
Come on, Fonsale. Let's move where we can see them clearly.
Good.
Great heavens! Look,
those walls.
Crusted with diamonds.
We said they were after big game, but I didn't think it was as big as this. There are millions of diamonds.
Must be the friction of the sea that makes them glitter that way.
They're chipping off the walls and putting them in tobacco bags.
Come on, Jones. Faster, man.
I've got enough. I'm going.
Stay where you are.
Oh, what the hell there?
Don't try anything impulsive, neither of you. Hand over those bags. Quickly now. Quickly.
This is your stupidity, Sandy. This is all you're doing. Let's go back one more time, you said. Let's go back. But I said no. I said we've got enough.
No, shut
but
up.
You knew better, didn't you? You weren't content but greedy for more.
Watch it, Jones. Watch it.
I could kill you for this, Sandy. I could
Take
kill
it easy,
you.
I said. Take it easy.
I was a fool to allow you to play this hand the way you wanted to. By heavens, I'll... Let go of me.
Grab him, Fonsale.
Got him. Got him. No, it's all right. Officer, it's all right. I know when I'm beaten. So much for your greed, Sandy. Now, we've lost everything.
Let's make some Pepsi music. Beautiful. That's the cola base flavor that lies at the heart of each Pepsi. But not just ordinary cola. That's right, a special Pepsi Plus flavor. But Pepsi's more than just flavor. Pepsi has a flavor so lively you can feel it bite back thirst. Now let's put the whole lot together and find out what Pepsi's all about.
It's more than just cola. It's a whole lot more. Pepsi is a feeling you never had before.
Pepsi Plus.
Announcing the complete detergent. New Darto. New Darto. It's all your whole family's wash needs for dazzling whiteness.
And brilliant brightness.
And stain removal.
And easy rinsing.
And all temperature action. New Darto. What more could a mother want for her family's wash?
Now you got what you want for your whole family's wash. New Darto is a mom's best friend.
New Darto. The complete detergent.
We fly your way, SAA. We fly your way, we fly your way, to widening skies, to new horizons. We fly your way,
Listen again at the same time next week when we shall bring you another comedy, drama, or play of suspense in Tuesday Theatre. We present plays from the four corners of the world. Comedy, drama, suspense, true life adventure in Tuesday Theatre.
A petrified serpent.
You have an almost classical figure.
Your interest in my figure, it embarrasses me.
If it is a question of money...
No, you insult me.
Every man has his price. That goes for every woman, too. Oh, I grant you, it may not be money. The price may be rank, position, power, even marriage.
Oh, I don't wish to continue this discussion. I tell you quite frankly, Mr. Aristophanes, that I don't feel safe on board the Notice. When we reach the island, of course, I get off, with or without the money you promised me.
That may be rather difficult, Irene.
I don't understand.
Now, let me put it this way. The things I want, I usually get one way or another.
No. If you lay as much as a finger on me, I...
Such melodramatics, I have them until later. By then, you will have learnt your lesson. But alas, like so many lessons life teaches us, you will have learned yours too late.
If you want a magazine that's full of fun and has something for every member of the family, this week and every week, you should get...
It's the only magazine that's a part of the scene of everyone in the family. And you'll find out why when you go out to buy Family Radio and TV. Family Radio and TV.
Now the House of Benson & Hedges offer you their special quality in a mild cigarette. New Benson & Hedges Special Mild. Created to satisfy the modern move to mildness without sacrificing taste.
New Benson & Hedges Special Mild lets you move to mildness, yet stay with taste. Ask for Benson & Hedges Special Mild.
Hi, Pete. Come on over.
Ah, thanks, Tom.
Hey, I see you're onto Pilsner too.
Yes, I like to start on beer and stay with it. Pilsner's the answer. It's less filling and, man, it's full of flavor.
That's Hansa for you. Cheers.
Hansa Pilsner is the perfect beer to have when you're having more than one. You get all the true beer satisfaction you want and an average of 24% less carbohydrates. Hansa, for Pilsner lightness, it's a world trend.
What do you know about me, Irene?
Nothing, except you were once poor and now you're rich.
Once poor and now rich. How very true. Indeed, that should explain everything. Those who are born rich take their wealth for granted. That is something I never do. It enables me to buy what I want, and when it is spurned, as it is occasionally by the proud, the ignorant, or the stupid, I do not worry over much. But when I am spurned as a man, especially by someone like you, I am offended.
I'm sorry.
You will be, my dear, because I am not a nice man to cross. Unforgetting and unforgiving. Look out through the porthole. No, the other side. And tell me what you see.
A big motor sailor, about a mile or so off.
That is the Lotus, registered in Istanbul, one of the most luxurious yachts afloat. It belongs to a friend of mine.
Jamil Bey?
You have heard of Jamil Bey, huh?
All I know is that he is rich and a Turk.
Only half Turk, or more likely, rather less than half, even as I am only half Greek. While he grew up in Alexandria, I learned to keep myself alive in Khartoum.
Why are you telling me this?
Because outwardly, Jamil Bey and I are friends. We are the same sort of people. I have to keep in with him. He has to keep in with me. And now it is my turn to show my gratitude.
Your turn to show your gratitude?
By presenting him with some acceptable gift, or something beautiful. Though beauty, I fear, in the hands of Jamil Bey, does not last.
What are you going to do?
Isn't it obvious? I have no further use for you. But Jamil Bey is a collector. I would not go so far as to say that he was a connoisseur, but yes, a collector of young and desirable women.
Thank you again, Mr. Aristophanes.
You're more than welcome, Jamil Bey.
You are looking for somebody, perhaps.
Mr. Aristophanes is expecting me.
Mr. Meadows.
That's right.
I am the skipper, Mr. Meadows. One calls me Nick.
Oh, how do you do, Nick?
Mr. Aristophanes is in his stateroom. Come with me.
Your good health, Mr. Meadows.
And yours, sir.
I will call you Timothy. You are quite happy about our little contract?
Well, it seems perfectly straightforward, but I must warn you that I've never attempted anything quite like this before.
But you are a very good writer. That is why I selected you to write my biography. Above all, I wanted the right man.
Well, I hope I'm the man you want. I must say, sir, your terms are very generous.
I pay my tailor well, too. The cut of the jacket serves to hide this bulge. While the pattern of the material plus the design of the suit tends to make me look taller than I am. In other words, Timothy, the clothes my tailor makes are flattering to my figure.
Yes, I understand, Mr. Aristophanes.
One does not amass great wealth, especially along the shores of the Mediterranean, by handling everything and everybody with kid gloves. The business world nowadays is a battlefield, and all is fair, they say, in love and war. On occasions, I have to confess, I have been utterly ruthless.
Well, I'll see to how to handle those occasions when the time comes.
I want a frank and revealing biography, Timothy. But not too frank and not too revealing.
I see.
After all, I'm not like your Oliver Cromwell. I do not care for a warts and all type of portrait. At the same time, I shall not insult your professional honor by asking you to whitewash me.
Well, that seems fair enough.
Basically, all you have to remember is that the biography is intended to improve my public image. What it means is that you have to couple your skills as a novelist to those of a public relations officer.
I'll do my best.
Good. And to help you, I've taken on someone to type your notes as we go along. A very interesting girl. A South African, but of Greek descent. She was teaching English in Athens. Marika?
Yes, Mr. Aristophanes.
Just one moment, please.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Timothy, this is the secretary I was telling you about. Marika Machakis. Marika, Timothy Matos.
How do you do, Marika? I wasn't expecting a secretary, I must say.
I've been so looking forward to meeting you. You see, I read Meadow Sweet, the story of your family's farm in Hertfordshire, when I was at university. It nearly broke my heart when you had to sell it to pay off death duties.
Well, the realities of life, Marika.
Well, I'm having lunch ashore. If you will excuse me, I leave you to get to know one another.
Come in.
Come on deck, Marika. There's a full moon and we're on the outskirts of the Sporades.
Ever since I was a child, I wanted to sail among the islands.
Browning's sprinkled isles. Lily on lily, the door nests.
Lovely words, even if the license is a bit far-fetched.
Why your special interest in the Sporades?
My grandfather came from Kos. He died before I was born.
And we'll be there in the morning. Have you any relatives still living on the island?
I'm not sure, but it'll be interesting to find out. Are you enjoying the trip?
Oh, loving it, aren't you?
I keep thinking of Meadow Sweet.
Why on earth? Our old farm.
Not of the farm, but of the man who wrote it. The man who could write with such sensitivity and truth.
What exactly are you getting at, Marika?
The stuff you're writing now.
What about it?
Lies! That's not Aristophanes emerging. It's some phony knight in silver paper armor.
Are you implying
that he bought you? That you're writing to order, suppressing the truth, faking the result? Yes, I'm implying all those things.
Well, you've got a damn cheek.
The
Say
truth
things of this.
hurts.
A secretary's job is to type what she is told to type, not to offer a running commentary on the contents. If you'll excuse me.
What was all that about, Nick?
Some old woman, sir, looking for her granddaughter. Said she was a cook on this yacht.
Cook? But we've never had a woman cook. What was her name?
Irina, the old woman says. Irina Konstantinos.
Oh, strange. Oh, these island girls go off to the mainland, Timothy. They're living on the streets and write to the people back home saying they're working on such and such a well-known yacht. Harmless deceit, I suppose, but it can be embarrassing.
Yes, of course.
And the old woman, Nick, who is she?
People here call her Mitera, sir. Not quite right in the head. Lives up there on the hill. Keeps a few goats, grows a few herbs. People are frightened of her. They say she is a witch.
One of the world's great tastes is superbly matured brandy. And this is what you will enjoy in every glass of Viceroy Old Liqueur Brandy. Aged and mellowed to perfection for people with the time to enjoy it, savor it, linger over it. Viceroy, the brandy of matchless maturity. Viceroy.
Golf! Do you realize, John, we go overseas in less than a week?
So?
Last time you were in a flap for at least a month before.
But this time we're going on an SAA package deal. They've done all the work. Itineraries, bookings,
All you've had to do is send off the check.
That's right. If you want to be a pampered passenger on a package holiday, SAA has 500 tours on 5 continents to tempt you. Inclusive tours covering your airfare, luxury coach, hotels, river cruises, and much more. The choice is yours. The hassles are ours. SAA didn't invent holidays. We just perfected them.
Telefunken's terrific. First they invented PAL, and now they've come up with the truly portable TV set. What makes Telefunken's portable so portable is that everything's built in. It's got a built-in battery, built-in recharger, built-in sunscreen, aerial and handle. It's compact and got no loose wires. So it's no hassle to get the picture as perfectly as the station sends it, up here on a mountain or anywhere else. Because Telefunken's the truly portable.
Come in.
After what you had to say last night, I half expected to find you packing.
Come in and close the door, Tim.
Now, what?
I was going to walk out on all of you this morning, but now I'm not quite sure what to do. Tim, I'm disappointed in you, but my intuition tells me you're the only man I can trust. You heard the fuss that old woman made this morning.
About her missing granddaughter, yes.
Come into the bathroom.
Oh? You're being very mysterious.
You have to lie down in the bath. It's the only way you can see it.
Lie in the bath?
Please, Tim, it's important. Now, look under the overhanging lip of the soap dish.
Someone's written their name. Irene Konstantinos.
The missing granddaughter. The girl both Aristophanes and the skipper denied all knowledge of. She was here, living in this cabin, bathing in this bath, and she disappeared. Yet no one said a word, not even the crew.
There must be some rational explanation.
What could be more rational than the obvious? Her name establishes that she was here, yet all trace of her presence aboard has been destroyed. Even the skipper and crew deny all knowledge of her, obviously on Aristophanes' instructions. Yet she succeeded in leaving this one clue, hidden from all but the next victim, shall we say?
What? Well, Marika, you're not suggesting
that I
that
might disappear too. I wouldn't put it past Aristophanes if I offended him. But I'm not worrying about myself at the moment. I'm worrying about poor Irene Konstantinos. exactly where Mitera lives.
Oh.
Half cave, half cottage built into the hillside.
Well, the skipper indicated that she was half crazy.
That was for our benefit. But the islanders call her Mitera, which means mother. And they hold her in considerable respect.
Oh.
Stranger!
Oh.
What are you doing here? Go away! Leave me in peace!
Oh, I am no stranger, Mitera, but the granddaughter of Dimitri Mahakis, once a fisherman on this island.
Mahakis? I think I remember him. Come to me, daughter. But the man with you, he does not belong here. Let him wait.
Oh, wait here, Tim.
You do not look like one of our island girls, daughter. And you speak our language with an accent that is strange.
I grew up in South Africa, Mitera.
Yet you came here in the motor ship Notos, named after the south wind, and you stood to one side, saying nothing while the man in charge lied to me about Irene.
Only because I had never heard of Irene Konstantinos, having joined the ship at Piraeus only a week ago.
But now you have news of my granddaughter.
Of a sort, Mitera. Confirmation that she was indeed aboard the Notos. Whatever the skipper might have told you. I found her name written beneath a ledge in the bathroom adjoining my cabin.
There is evil aboard that ship. I sensed it, even from the dock.
The owner, Aristophanes, is evil.
A rich and ruthless man whose greed will be his undoing. For we carry the seeds of our own destruction within us all.
What do you think has happened to Irene?
She is being held, my daughter, against her will. In my dreams, she tries to come to me. Her soul fluttering blindly in the night, like the wings of a bear beating against the cage.
Shall I go to the police?
You will find they are in the pay of Aristophanes.
But there must be something we can do.
The confirmation you gave me is what I'm waiting for. You will not understand, but you are a messenger sent to me by the old ones who live on these islands of the Aegean Sea.
What old ones, Mitera?
The guardians of our ancient Greece. Zeus himself, Lord of the heavens. The dappled clouds make up his shield, and when he shakes it, there is thunder and lightning.
You believe still in the old gods, Mitera?
And in their power to do good or evil.
But you can't still...
I do not expect you to understand, daughter. What is myth? What is history? Ellen bridged the gap. She was mortal, born of the mortal Leda, but her father was Zeus. Her blood runs in my veins, and with it the blood of the gods. I see them all. Theseus, whose father, our beloved Aegeus, gave his name to our Aegean Sea. The Minotaur of Crete. Perseus, who turned his enemies into stone by showing them the severed Gorgon's head.
Our best plan, I'd say, is to keep our mouths shut until we get back to Athens. Then we can go to the police.
I'll go. Rather you keep out of it. Otherwise it'll cost you your job.
Damn the job. Now, what's that you got there?
Oh, it's a little present from Matera.
Well, let me have a look. Interesting. Little stone snake. Oh, well, I see his tail's broken off.
Is it? I hadn't noticed. Oh, dear. I wonder if that's going to spoil things.
What are you talking about?
Mitera told me that I was to show it to Aristophanes. I was to say that I'd bought it in the village for the equivalent of $1.
What then?
She didn't say. Disappointed in you, but my intuition tells me you're the only man I can trust. You heard the fuss that old woman made this morning.
About her missing granddaughter, yes.
Come into the bathroom.
Oh. You're being very mysterious.
You have to lie down in the bath. It's the only way you can see it.
While you were ashore, I climbed into that bath and found what you, my so-called trustworthy skipper, had missed. Irini Konstantinos had written her name beneath the overhanging lip of the soap dish, and both the girl and Meadows now knew that she was here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Aristophanes, but how was I to know?
I don't pay you to make mistakes. Where were they going, did they say?
The girl was going to try and trace some of her relations.
Find out from the police if they reported there. If they didn't, they'll be saving that little tidbit of information until they get back to Athens. It looks as if we might have another present for Jamil Bey.
And Mr. Meadows, sir?
I think it can be arranged for him to break his neck. Hello, you two. Just in time for the sundown. Have you had a good day?
Wonderful, Mr. Aristophanes. Look what I bought for myself.
Oh, a serpent. A petrified serpent.
Carved out of stone. Pity it's broken. I suppose that's why I got it so cheap.
I collect these things. I'll give you $10.
No, really. Keep it if you want it.
Thank you, Marika. You are very kind.
Tim, look at that yacht there. She's very close.
Oh, unless she changes course, she's going to cut right across our bows.
Oh, beauty, isn't she? What's her name? Can you see through your night glasses?
Let me see. Oh, she's the Lotus. Port of registration, Istanbul.
Lotus. Timothy, this is it. This is what happened to Irina. I'm sure it is. Nitera told me that a lotus emblem was constantly haunting her dreams.
You didn't say anything?
It didn't seem important.
It is now. I want you to go down to your cabin and lock yourself in. The doors and bolts are pretty solid.
But what are you going to do?
I'm going to call on Aristophanes. I know where he keeps his gun.
Allowed on the
I'm giving orders here, Nick, and this gun is my authority.
Gun?
Aristophanes is dead.
He's dead? He told me an hour ago he was not feeling well.
A heart attack, possibly. Now, if you know what's good for you, you'll ignore the Lotus and make full speed for Piraeus. I've spoken to Aristophanes' personal physician. Only a month ago, he was given a clean bill of health. Yet the post-mortem revealed an intense accumulation of calcium in the tissues, associated with chronic arteriosclerosis.
As if he were turning into stone?
Something like that.
Nitera was here. She came to collect Irene. And when she left, she took away the petrified serpent.
Oh.
She was muttering something about the old gods and Medusa with the serpent locks, who could turn mere mortals into stone.
Ascend. Rise above the clouds with a cool, clean mainstay on the rocks, topped up with Schweppes sparkling lemon. Or discover the #1 spirit with tonic, tomato cocktail, or any other mixer. It's a soaring experience.
You can stay as you are for the rest of your life, or you can change to mainstay, mainstay, mainstay.
Quality, care, and craftsmanship. These have made Rembrandt van Rijn the masterpiece in cigarettes. Nothing else could achieve that perfect balance of flavor, aroma, and smoothness. Rembrandt van Rijn, each cigarette a masterpiece.
Inflation is reducing the value of your runt, including the runt you set aside for life assurance. Now, from Southern Life, the Inflation Fighter, the new policy especially designed to counter inflation. As the cost of living goes up, the value of your inflation fighter policy increases. Find out more about Southern's inflation fighter. Consult your broker or Southern Life representative.
Listen again at the same time next week when we shall bring you another comedy, drama, or play of suspense in Tuesday Theatre. We present plays from the four corners of the world. Comedy, drama, suspense, true life adventure in Tuesday Theatre.
The Unsung Hero.
'63,
66,
67,
68.
and now in 1975, Peugeot again wins the East African Safari, the world's toughest rally, outright.
The fantastic reliability and performance of the 504 Ti, driven by Anderson and Hertz, overcame incredibly bad conditions to win.
Of the 78 starters, 14 finished. 2 of them Peugeot 504 Ti's.
One more reason to take another careful look at Peugeot.
Accept Peugeot's challenge. Try and find more for your money if you can. Then take another careful look at Peugeot.
For generations, the cellar masters of the House of Von Rain have handed down the careful, unhurried art of making fine brandy. An art that has culminated in the creation of Viceroy Old Liqueur Brandy. Select Viceroy, the brandy of matchless maturity. Viceroy.
Who can that be? Just when I'm ready to go to the beach.
5 roses tea. Hello, it's us. Now don't make a fuss. We just want the brew 5 roses gives you. So do us a favor, give us strain 5 flavors. 5 roses tea goes such a long way.
What happened last night?
We were celebrating your return from the Russian front, remember?
Oh, my head. Anyone who gets back from the Ukraine in one piece has cause to celebrate.
Then there was your Iron Cross.
Yeah. Every man in the regiment deserved one, believe me.
And your new appointment. We were celebrating that, Rudolph.
Yes. To be appointed an instructor here at Regimental Depot. Now that, Erich, is worth celebrating.
Even if it is only for 6 months.
It's another 6 months to live. Would you scoff at that? I tell you, Erich, the Russians are on the offensive. If I'd been sent back into action, I'd have been dead within a week.
Last night, Rudolph, you made a speech there in the cafe.
Yeah, I remember precious little of it, except the applause, of course. It must have been a very good speech, witty and amusing, for I was an actor before I was a tank, Captain Erich. And at heart, that's what I still am, an actor, a man who lives for the theater.
That it was a good...
After all, I have a gift for making people laugh. They say every clown wants to play Hamlet, but Falstaff's more my mark. Inevitably, after the war...
Get back to last night. You're magnificent. Your voice, your appearance, your very personality all disappeared, merging into those of the man you were portraying.
I was as good as that, eh?
You brought the house down. Unfortunately, I'd been celebrating as enthusiastically as you. Otherwise, I'd have clamped down on your act.
Why? Why, what did I do wrong?
There, in that crowded cafe, with some burnt cork for a moustache, you stood up and made a laughing stock of... Herr Hitler.
Ah, in the crowded cafe, you say? See who that is, Erich.
It's an SS captain and a man in plain clothes. His name's Clausen. He's from the Gestapo.
Oh, well, I suppose I'd better go down and face the music.
Don't be a fool. If you've got to face these swine, do so on your own ground.
Meaning?
Slip out the back way. Go straight to your regimental depot, shave, get into uniform. Tell Colonel Hartmann exactly what happened. Maybe he'd be able to get you out of this mess. Now, hurry. I'll go downstairs and foot them off. Hold on a minute, can't you? Oh, Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler. Your name?
Erich Bernfeld.
We're looking for Rudolf Bernfeld, captain in the 83rd Panzer Regiment.
That's my brother. I'm sorry you've just missed him. He left about half an hour ago. You'll find him at the regimental depot.
What time was he supposed to report for duty?
Not until this evening. But he's a very conscientious officer. He's just been discharged from hospital. A head wound, you know. Memento of the Russian front. He's still far from fit.
What is the matter with your leg? Were you wounded too?
No. My disability is the result of polio as a child. Not too serious, but it keeps me out of the armed
Your
forces.
occupation?
Photographer. I'm with the Ministry of Propaganda.
Well, doubtless you'll be hearing from us again. Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Captain Bernfeld reporting for duty, Herr Colonel.
Good morning, Rudolph. I wasn't expecting you so soon. Congratulations.
Oh. On this?
I must say, I was thinking more of your new medical categorization than of your Iron Cross. With luck, Rudolph, we may yet survive this war and perhaps help to put our poor Germany on the road to sanity again.
The war's lost, isn't it?
Our only hope lies in a negotiated peace with the Allies. But that madman Hitler won't hear of it. He's determined to drag Germany down with him. That's what we've got to prevent.
And, can we, sir?
The generals can. They'll have the whole army behind them.
It's a pity they couldn't have stood up to him before this.
A few of them are now prepared to do rather more than stand up to him, Rudolph. If we are to save what is left of Germany, Hitler has to go. Needless to say, he's very closely guarded, and he doesn't expose himself to any unnecessary dangers.
Yeah, you need a man with special access to Hitler. A man who is prepared to sacrifice his own life.
We think we have found such a man.
At a time like this, sir, I hardly like to burden you with my own troubles.
Troubles? What are they? After all, I'm not only your commanding officer, I'm your prospective father-in-law, too. Which reminds me, Melanie gave me strict instructions to send you to her the moment you arrived.
I nearly didn't arrive, sir. When I woke this morning, I found Clausen of the Gestapo and an SS captain at my door.
They were? But your name hasn't even been mentioned in connection with the impending operation.
Oh, it had nothing to do with that, Herr Colonel. The fact is, I made rather a fool of myself at the Café Wien last night. I did my celebrated imitation of Hitler.
In public? That was a risky thing to do. You were quite right to come straight here. I think I can deal with Clausen. Meanwhile, you'd better walk over to my place and have a word with Melanie.
Here, Melanie, my love. One of the spoils of war.
Thank you. French champagne. I almost wish it wasn't.
Just enjoy it. I don't want anything to wreck this evening. You do hold with brief engagements, don't you?
This one's not brief. In my heart, Rudy, I've been engaged to you ever since you left for the Russian front.
And I to you. But I couldn't tie you down at a time like that.
Is life any less dangerous now? What with the air raids and the Gestapo? Come. We'll drink to our marriage.
To the joy of it, and the mystery, and the excitement.
Oh, you do dramatize things, Rudy.
Oh, the lover in me, not the actor this time.
The actor nearly got you into grave trouble.
And your father got me out of it, thank heavens. That was nearly a fortnight ago. I'm only just beginning to relax.
You don't frighten easily, Rudy. According to the citation on your Iron Cross.
You can't go by that, my love. Like nearly everybody else, I was frightened most of the time.
But you didn't show it.
If I didn't, it was because all the time I was putting on an act. That of a dashing panzer captain. Not quite as young and not quite as slim as he should have been. But inside that uniform was Rudolf Bernfeld. Rather like the hind end of a pantomime horse. Ready to run if only the other fellow up front would do the same.
But he didn't. And you didn't.
Which doesn't mean a thing. I'm telling you, Melanie, Erich should have been the soldier in our family. He's the one with the guts and the cool head to go with them. After all, look what he's had to go through.
And he hero worships you, Rudy.
I know, and it upsets me. I've told him so. The trouble is, he sees me as the man of action, the extrovert who's always prepared to dash in and make a fool of himself if need be. Of course, when we were at school together and there was this crusade for physical perfection and the contempt of the Hitler youth for any infirmity, I often had my hands full standing up for him.
And he's never forgotten it, Rudy. You mean more to him than anyone else on earth. I don't think even a woman could take your place in your brother's heart.
A woman? Ah, I wish for his sake some woman would see beyond that poor withered leg of his. Come, let's dance.
I'm not sure in this blackout, but this is your brother's place, isn't it, Rudy?
Yes, just over there. You can see the blur of the lilac. You can smell the sweetness of it, too. Melanie, it's been a most wonderful evening.
There'll be lots more, darling.
Of course. I'd rather grown out of the habit of looking ahead. Silly of me. Good night, Melanie. Thanks for the lift. I wish I were holding you close tonight.
By this time next month, we'll be married.
I can't wait. I really can't. Good night, darling. See you in the morning.
Captain Rudolf Bernfeld?
Yes?
You are to accompany me to Gestapo headquarters. You are under arrest.
Aus dem stillen Raume, aus der Erde Grund, hebt mich wie im Traume sein verliebter Mund. Wenn sich die späten Nebel drehen, werd ich bei der Laterne stehen, wie einst Lili Marleen, wie einst Lili Marleen.
Middle-aged? Feel you're aging too quickly? Are odd aches and pains nagging you? Has your memory let you down lately? Can't concentrate on your work either? You need Salusa 45. Salusa 45 improves physical vigor, revives mental alertness, restores sound sleep. Salusa 45 makes you feel and look years younger. Enjoy life again with Salusa 45.
How can you beat the best?
For real, toasted, honest, to goodness, tobacco flavor, the next best thing to a Lexington is another Lexington.
For a flavor break when you've had your action, reach for smoking satisfaction. Alive with flavor that's number one. Man, relax with a Lexington. That's the one.
For after-action satisfaction, smoke Lexington. That's the one.
Firestone has an endless steel belt that takes the radial principle to its ultimate efficiency, always laying the tread firmly on the road, even while accelerating, braking, and cornering. Firestone. Firestone steel belt radials, the most efficient tires. Firestone. It's the endless steel belt that makes the difference. Firestone.
You're not eating, Melanie.
If I were hungry, Father, I would eat.
There's no point in starving yourself. Look at you.
Don't worry about me. What about Rudolph? It's nearly 3 months.
And I've done everything I can to effect his release.
You don't hold out much hope for Rudy, do you?
Life these past few years, my dear, has taught me to fear the worst. If it doesn't happen, then you've cause to be grateful. If only we could get rid of Hitler.
I thought there were plans.
There are. But the less you know about them, the better it is for you. Unfortunately, we've had to postpone them again.
But why is that, Father?
Because their success depends on finding a man who can get within striking distance of Hitler. And that's not easy.
I think I may know such a man.
Who are you talking about?
Someone who is completely trustworthy. Let me sound him out, and I'll give you his name.
Come in, Melanie.
I could only stay a moment, Erich. There's still no news.
Oh, Rudolph. Nothing.
Nearly 3 months.
Gestapo have held people incommunicado for longer than that. Come this way.
What will happen to him if they get desperate, Erich? Now that the Anglo-Americans have landed in Normandy, we're fighting on 2 fronts. My father believes our only hope lies in negotiating some kind of peace with them, but Hitler won't hear of it.
Neither will Eisenhower. He wants an unconditional surrender.
Oh, but what can we do? We must save something from the ruins of the Third Reich.
What we need to save most of all are Sherman lives. But that's the last thing Hitler worries about. If the generals had any guts, they'd get rid of him before it's too late.
Yeah.
I don't mind telling you, Melanie, if I had the opportunity, I'd do the job myself.
I spoke to the man I mentioned, Father. He said if he had the opportunity, he'd get rid of Hitler himself.
That's what we all need, opportunity.
But this man has it. His job takes him very close to Hitler. You see, he's a news photographer.
You're talking about Erich Bernfeld?
One of the best photographers in the Ministry of Propaganda. If Hitler is to appear in public, he's invariably detailed to take the pictures.
I see what you're getting at, Melanie.
Yeah.
I see exactly what you're getting at. Leave it to me. We have access to some excellent technicians. Just leave everything to me.
Come in, Melanie. How very nice to see you. I can offer you a glass of wine.
I'd like that.
Come, sit down over here. I'll pour the drinks.
Thank you very much, Erich. Well, death to all tyrants.
A dangerous toast.
These are dangerous times. What kind of camera do you use?
It depends on what sort of picture I'm
A
taking.
35 millimeter.
Sometimes, yes.
Base level or eye level viewfinder?
Whatever I need. The eye level's quicker. Why?
I know a man with a telephoto lens that would interest you.
Huh?
It's very powerful. He has a shop called Camera Gunther, just behind the cathedral. He'll be expecting you tomorrow afternoon. Do you think you can make it, Erich?
If it's important, yes. Let me give you a little more wine, Melanie. Herr Gunther?
Yes, this is my shop, but I have so very little to sell.
A friend of mine thought you might have a telephoto lens to fit this.
Oh, yes, a telephoto lens. Come through with me into my workshop, and I will show you what I have. Excellent. I hope that didn't take you too much by surprise.
Oh, it is a beautiful and deadly piece of mechanism.
A combination, sir, of the instrument maker's and the gunsmith's art. The telescopic sight is fitted to a 9mm target pistol barrel, and this is fitted with a very efficient silencer and flash eliminator.
What is its range and accuracy?
After a little practice, with your steady hands and photographer's eye, you should be able to hit an orange at 10 meters if you can find one. And a man's head at 30.
Sit down, Melanie. I take it that you've heard.
From Herr Gunther, yes. He says, you have an unerring eye.
Down there in the cellar is one thing. Whether I can aim as accurately when the time comes.
You will, Erich, you will. Do you know what Rudolf once said to me about you?
What did he say?
That you should have been the soldier in the family. You were the one who always kept your head. You were the one with a special brand of calculated courage.
Are you trying to belittle him in my eyes, Melanie?
Heaven forbid. I just wanted you to know how much those roles he was compelled to play must have cost him.
You're talking as if he's already dead.
Well, I didn't mean to. It's just these last few days somehow I've convinced myself that I shall never see him again.
Don't cry, Melanie. Or if you must, it's not much of a shoulder. There, that's better.
Yeah.
Rudolf was always very protective towards me because of my leg.
I know, especially when you were younger. So, in later years, it seemed to me the roles were reversed. You protected Rudolf.
When I could, yes. But I let him down that night at the Café Wien, and now the Gestapo's got him.
Oh, but it was such a small thing.
In their eyes, belittling the Führer. Very soon, he'll no longer be there to protect them.
Have you been given an assignment?
I'm on standby. We're never given time or place until the last minute. I should treat it like any other photographic assignment. I've never liked shooting my pictures through the bulletproof glass of Hitler's car. That's why I shall position myself in such a way that when the car stops and the door opens, I'll have a clear view of him.
But won't they be able to work out the direction from which a shot was fired?
That's a risk I have to take. Your father's friends have arranged for a number of squibs to go off the moment I fire, just to confuse the issue.
Erich, aren't you afraid?
A little. I'm no soldier, Menele. I'm not even a patriot. Believe me, I'm not doing this for Germany, nor for the generals who should be doing their own dirty work. I'm doing it for Rudolf, a professional funny man who would never really harm a fly. All he ever wanted to do was to make people laugh. Germany, in her death throes, they still cheer him. But not very much, I notice. Not very enthusiastically. Here's his car now. He couldn't be better placed. In a moment, that SS officer will step forward, salute, and open the car door.
Heil Hitler!
Steady. I've got the crossed hairs right between his eyes. This is for you, Rudolph.
Yes, sir? Yes. Do you have any wines on offer? No special offers, but we stock the full Keller Prince range. Such good value, it's like a permanent special offer. Isn't that just sales talk? No, I'll prove it to you. See? All Keller Prince wines carry the Stellenbosch Farmers Winery's value for money pledge. A promise that you can enjoy a good wine every day.
The Keller Prince range brings together South Africa's best value for money wines.
Jet into La Paz from Los Angeles. You're on top of the world in the happy hug of the towering Andes. Stroll down the pulsating Prado and let yourself go with the beat of 1,001 rituals in the fascinating fiestas of Bolivia. Land of Mañana, tomorrow. An idyllic world. The colorific world of Peter Stuyvesant. Rich, choice tobaccos. Miracle filter. King size. So much more to enjoy.
Making dentures takes a lot of care, a lot of skill. The day your dentist fits them, they're perfectly clean and healthy. Keep them like that with Sterident, the best way to keep dentures hygienically clean. Oxygen-activated Sterident removes stains, dissolves film in minutes. Everyday Sterident keeps dentures as clean as the day your dentist fitted them.
This is the BBC. Earlier this afternoon, an unsuccessful attempt was made on the life of Herr Hitler, according to consistent radio reports emanating from occupied Europe and monitored in London. The German Führer was visiting an unnamed garrison town in Westphalia when a shot was fired, missing him by a hair's breadth. No further details are available, although reports say that an arrest is imminent.
Can't believe it.
You are to accompany me at once to Gestapo headquarters.
I've just got back from Gestapo headquarters.
Oh, no.
Let me explain. And prepare yourself, my dear, for some bad news.
It's about Rudolph, isn't it? He's dead.
Yes. He's dead. I've seen him. Clausen has given me authority to claim the body tomorrow for burial. He was really quite decent about it. Said that Rudolph was one of the unsung heroes of the Reich.
Oh, my poor Rudy. I knew I'd never see him again. How did he die, Erich?
The death certificate says that he died from wounds received in action on the Russian front.
That's not true.
It's not true. He'd grown a mustache since I last saw him and put on a little weight. Even in death, the resemblance was uncanny. That's why they used him, of course, to stand in for Hitler on dangerous occasions. The bullet had caught him right between the eyes.
Vor dem großen Tor stand eine Laterne und steht sie noch davor. So wollen wir uns da wiedersehen. Bei der Laterne wollen wir stehen, wie einst Lili Marleen, wie einst Lili Marleen. unsere beiden Schatten sahen wie einer aus, dass wir so lieb uns hatten, das sah man gleich daraus. Und alle Leute sollen es sehen, wenn wir bei der Laterne stehen, wie einst Lili Marleen, wie einst Lili Marleen.
Listen again at the same time next week when we shall bring you another comedy, drama, or play of suspense in Tuesday Theatre. We present plays from the four corners of the world. Comedy, drama, suspense, true life adventure in Tuesday Theatre.
We present The Vow, an Easter tribute by Annette Mackenzie. The Vow.
All costumes allocated and approved. Swords, shields, and spears checked and distributed.
5 minutes, please.
The preparations and rehearsals are over. The scenery is erected. The time draws near. The air is charged with tension as the final waiting moments slip into the past. It is time for the play. It is time for the actors to take the stage, as did their fathers and grandfathers, as did the long line of their forebears, stretching back to the year 1632, when a small community of simple, pious people lived in the valley of the Ammer. Their village, sheltered beneath the awesome crags of the Bavarian Alps, was known as Oberammergau. But a dark fear hung over the peaceful village, fear of the dreaded sickness which ravaged Europe, fear of the veteran reaper, the Black Death.
Mr. Takahashi, you've just broken 10 tiles with one blow of your elbow. How do you do it?
Perfect timing.
And that's why you wear a Citizen watch, huh?
Partly.
Oh, but what about Citizen's pinpoint accuracy?
Very sharp.
Citizen's high-tech styling?
Very smart.
But then why do you wear a Citizen watch?
Because price is not blow to my pocket.
Citizen. First, time, and again.
Ever since Columbus, America has been waiting for you to discover it too. But why not break your trip to America for one night in magnificent Madrid? If you do, the city of Madrid, through its tourist promotion board, will treat you to free hotel accommodation, free meals, and free entertainment. So fly Iberia and stop over in Madrid. After 490 years, America can wait just one more day.
Maria, the fires are already burning.
Jacob, my clean floor, and look at the mud on your boots.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maria. I came hurrying to collect the last of our refuse for the great fires the elders are burning.
Annalisa has already taken the last of it. Now off with your boots, Jacob. They say that the plague can hide itself in the smallest mite of dirt. We can be thankful that we are still free of it here in Oberammergau.
We take precautions, and if other communities had done as much, they might have escaped the terrible sickness as we have. The elders have given orders that the river is to be kept free of all debris, which may float down to us from upstream villages.
The stories one has heard of towns and villages with no one left alive.
In any town or village, if one person falls a victim to the Black Death, then all are doomed. But sheltered as we are by our mountains, we have escaped wars and pestilence in the past. We have been fortunate. Let us hope that we will continue to be so.
Father, have you heard the news?
Annalisa, stay outside till you've washed, after carrying the refuse to the fire.
I won't come in till I've washed, Mother. But there's been a new ruling by the Council of 6 and 12.
The elders have made another new ruling. What is it?
No visitors may enter Ober Ammergau for any reason.
It is a wise decision. It would be a sorrowful day if the Black Death were brought to us by some careless visitor.
Oh, it hardly seems worth the trouble to start preparing for the autumn festival. Weeks of work, but for what? There's nothing to look forward to.
We begin preparing for the most important festival ever held in Oberammergau. When the time comes, we will not only celebrate our church's consecration, but we will give thanks that we have been spared the dreaded plague.
Oh, there is no plague. Yet the elders still forbid anyone from outside to enter the village. God, there's no reason for it anymore.
The elders think otherwise.
Oh, and it won't be a real feast this year.
Food may be a little scarce, but there will be enough. To wish for more than enough is gluttony.
Oh, I don't really care about the food, Mother. But oh, it is going to be so quiet. There will be no fair, no musicians, no tumblers, and no visitors from other villages.
Annalisa, you can speak of fairs and musicians when plague has devastated the land.
Oh, but how can we have a festival with no festivities?
You can be joyous and thankful that you are still alive. Thankful that you were born here in Oberammergau.
Maria,
and not...
there is bad news.
Oh, Jacob, not here, Jacob. Oh, not the sickness here in our own village.
No, not here, but close. Eschenlohe. The news has just arrived.
Eschenlohe. Just over 3 miles away.
3 miles. And death is a giant's stride. By all accounts, not a single house there is free of the plague. Already more than half the villagers are dead.
Eschenlohe. Oh, but my friends, Gretchen and Martha Stengel. Oh, no, Mother. Mother, I did not mean what I said about the festival. No. I did not mean to complain.
I know.
Oh, and now Gretchen and Martha.
I know, Annalisa. You're young and tired of all the restrictions. But up to now, we've been far from the sickness. We have been spared, while others have suffered. But now the poisonous breath of the plague is blowing on our doorstep.
Oh, no, Gretchen and Martha. They say it is a horrible way to die.
Shh, my little
You
daughter.
must be brave, Annalisa.
Yes, Father.
Because of Eschenlohe, the elders have ordered us all to double precautions. And we must now carry weapons, swords and axes and cudgels.
Weapons?
No matter how pitiful, no one fleeing from Eschenlohe can be permitted to cross our boundary.
We are to be without mercy. Show no pity to friends who may come to us.
Any who come from Eschenlohe are death's messengers. And the ban is not only on them. Even those who live here will not be permitted to enter Oberammergau if they are beyond the boundary at this moment.
At this moment? But the men who left the village this morning to go to the forest.
They will not be allowed to return.
The day laborers, who travel out and in.
There can be no exceptions to the rule.
But their homes are here.
The Schistlers who live opposite. I saw Caspar leave this morning.
That is the reason why the rule has to be enforced immediately. Caspar, Schisler, and some others from our village work close to Eschenlohe. They cannot be allowed back into Oberammergau.
Poor Frau Schisler and her children. It will be so hard for them.
I am sure Caspar would rather sleep in the mountains than be the carrier of the Black Death to his family.
It is selfish of me, Jacob. But I am thankful that your work doesn't take you out of the village. Oh, poor Frau Schisler. I'll go over to her later. But now you must have something to eat.
And I must eat quickly. I report on guard duty very soon.
Must keep the fire burning brightly. We want enough light to see that no one sneaks into the village.
There is plenty of wood, Klaus. We'll keep the flames high.
The village is ringed with bonfires. From the mountains, it must look as though Oberammergau is on fire.
They say that flame burns the plague carried on the air.
Let us pray they speak the truth, Jacob.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
Oh, put away your sword, Jacob. It's only me, Caspar Schisler.
Don't come any closer. You are not permitted to enter the village.
Oh, not permitted? I live in the village. Don't you recognize me?
We recognize you, but the elders have given you orders. No one is allowed to enter Oberammergau, not even those whose homes are here.
It is forbidden.
But my wife, my children...
It is necessary.
Oh, Jacob, I live opposite you. I'm an old neighbor. You know me? Do you think that I would risk bringing illness to the village?
You must go back, Caspar.
No! There is nothing wrong with me, and I am going to my home.
We are armed, and for a purpose. Our orders are to let no one pass.
Go back to the mountains, Caspar.
For how long?
Until the threat of the plague has gone.
And when will that be? How many more months or years? And I'm to be separated from my family till then? No! I want to see the elders!
The elders made the rule. There can be no exceptions.
Go back to the mountains.
Pan set was $29.95, now only $24.99 ex-GST. 2 casserole pots, a huge Dutch oven, plus a frying pan in the Merry Mushroom pattern exclusive to Russell's. But hurry, this low price of $24.99 is for a limited period only.
It's so easy at Russell's.
Enjoy that touch of artistry in Rembrandt van Rijn. The cream of the crop is in Rembrandt van Rijn, blended with patience and precision to that unique balance in taste and flavor. Rembrandt van Rijn, each cigarette a masterpiece.
'n tydjie gelede het ek 'n slegte hoes gehad. My bors was benoud en seer. Gelukkig beveel 'n vriend toe Vicks Actor Plus aan, die hoes- en borsverkoue medisyne van Vicks. U weet, Vicks Actor Plus het my gehoes en daai benoudheid en pyn in die bors gou laat bedaar. As u ooit meer as net 'n hoes het en 'n verkoue op die bors gou wil verlig, volg my raad. Neem Vicks Actor Plus. U sal sommer sien hoekom hulle dit Vicks Actor Plus noem.
Well, everything is completed. All the weeks of preparation over, and we're ready for our autumn festival. And God has been good to us. The plague spreads from village to village, yet we are still free of it here in Oberammergau.
There were those who thought our elders were too harsh, but now they can see the wisdom of the rules.
You can take it across to her, Annalisa. So hard for her and the children at this time of the year. No husband and father with them to share the celebration.
And hard for Kaspar Schisler too. All alone, somewhere in the mountains.
Someone there? Who's... Oh, Kaspar.
Teresa. Teresa.
Kaspar, how did you get here? Did they let you through for the festival?
No, they let no one through.
Then how?
I could have come to you long before this. I know the mountains as no one else does. Secret paths that few have walked on.
Then they don't know that you're here. You've come despite the orders.
I had to see you and the children, Teresa. I've been so lonely, and I couldn't stay away and leave you to celebrate the festival alone.
But when the elders find out that you're here...
They won't find out. I'll go as I came. Now, let me sit and warm myself, Teresa. I'm so weary. The walk was more strenuous than I remembered.
Make yourself comfortable by the fire. I'll bring you something to eat.
I really am tired.
And hungry, I'm sure. The neighbors have been kind, sharing their festival food with us.
I'll eat later, Teresa. I'm too tired now. I think I must lie down for a little while.
Kaspar, are you awake? You've been asleep for hours. You must have been tired.
Water. Teresa, I must have water. I'm so thirsty.
Kaspar, your brow is on fire. You have a fever.
Water.
Here, let me raise your head. Slowly, Kaspar. It is bad to drink so quickly.
My whole body is on fire.
You've got a chill. Yes, sleeping in the mountains, you've caught a chill. It is true then, Jakob.
Yeah. Kaspar Schisler came home 3 nights ago, and today lies dead of the plague.
Heaven help us all.
They are burying him immediately. You sent some food over to Frau Schissler the other day. Did she return the basket?
She returned it next morning.
When Caspar was already in the house, the basket must be burnt at once.
Oh, yesterday the Schissler children were playing with the others.
Jacob, what is happening across the street?
Frau Schissler and her children have been locked inside the house, and now they are nailing up the doors and windows. Now it is the turn of the Stiegel family.
It seems so cruel, Jacob. Nailing the doors and window shutters, leaving them prisoners in their own home until...
What else can be done? Once the sickness is in the house, it must be contained there as far as possible.
Oh, to think that Caspar Schissler brought this upon us.
His own family were the first to suffer. There is nothing to be gained in reproaching the dead.
But where will it end? How many dead now?
Who can tell?
Is it only a matter
Who
of...
is it? Who's there?
It's Klaus.
Are you still untouched?
Yeah. I give you my word. Open the door. I have news. I won't come in. The news I have is bad. The Stuckel family.
We already know. Frau Stiegel is dead and the others are being isolated in the house.
But I have a message for you and Maria.
For us?
From the Stiegels?
No. From your daughter.
Anneliese?
Burn her bedding and all her possessions.
Anneliese?
She has the first symptoms, so she chose to be locked in with the Stuckers.
Oh, Anneliese.
She begs you to stay away from the Stuckers' cottage. And she's praying that for you and Jacob, it is not already too late.
I must go to her. Let me go, Jacob. I am her mother.
There's nothing you can do. The house is already nailed up.
She is my daughter.
And mine. But we are helpless. Come, Maria. We must burn all her things.
Anneliese. Oh, Anneliese.
Death, with grim precision in his step, reaped the silent harvest of the plague. Pitiless, his poisoned fingers touched on age and infancy alike. The passing days, a calendar of sorrow, while pestilence obliterated hope.
People of Oberammergau, I thank you for coming to the village square as I requested. Neighbors, friends, we have done everything possible, and yet still the Black Death is amongst us. Homes lie stark and empty, grim monuments to our dead. We no longer count the numbers. Families known in Oberammergau for generations are gone, and their names have died with them.
We know. We know. We only went to join those who have gone before us.
No man can banish this evil from our midst. All that man can do, we have done. Only God can help us now. We must throw ourselves on his mercy.
We have never ceased to pray for mercy.
Oh, yes, we have prayed. But now we must go as true supplicants. We will go together to the church, every man, woman, and child, whole and sick alike.
Those sick from the plague?
Those more than any other. every living soul in Oberammergau, we will proclaim our trust and faith in God.
Maria, put on your cloak. We are called to the church.
Death has made its home in our village. God has abandoned us.
No. We go to demonstrate our faith that God has not abandoned us. The sick are being carried or transported on carts. Shall we, who are still whole, show less trust in those afflicted with the plague? Come, Maria.
And so the villagers performed their act of faith. And in the church that day, they made a vow.
If it be thy will that we should survive, we solemnly vow that every 10th year, for as long as Oberammergau shall exist, we and the descendants following after us, in all humility and gratitude, will enact a play recalling to all men the passion of the Savior, Jesus Christ. This we solemnly vow.
And so the vow was made. And though the terrible pestilence grew and spread throughout Europe, in the village of Oberammergau, not one other soul died of the plague. Humbly and gratefully, the survivors honored their promise, an enduring promise. For as the centuries passed, their descendants held fast to the sacred vow, and still do to this day.
I can see from your palm that you're going to come into a lot of money. You must be with the United.
Yes, the helping hand of United subscription shares will guarantee your financial future. From as little as £1 a month, subscription shares build up dividends every year. The longer, the better. And once you get the subs habit, it's easy and painless. The future belongs to those who plan for it with United subscription shares.
The biggest, surest helping hand in the land.
The years of planning pass away, and all is ready and expectant. The living vow comes once again towards its due fulfillment. The players breathe the stillness of the air, as though it were Judea's sun-scorched breeze, and past and present meet as one in this time-tested theatre of faith. The murmurs cease. The play begins. The Son of God come down to expiate our sins. Dark garden of Gethsemane, the bitter pain of Calvary, and the first glorious Easter morning.
See, the grave is open. The stone is moved away from the entrance.
Here lies the cloth in which the holy body was sheathed. He is gone.
Fear not. Ye seek Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified. He is arisen, and is here no longer.
Rabboni. Oh, my teacher. He has disappeared. I see him no more. But I have seen him. He has come back to life again. Oh, would that I could send my voice throughout the world, that mountains and rocks, sky and earth would give its echo. He is risen.
You've just heard Annette Mackenzie's The Vow. Glenday was the narrator and Klaus. Gordon van Rooyen, Jacob Roots. Annette Mackenzie, Maria Roots. Karen Short, Annalisa. Robert Dalkirk, Caspar Schiessler. Elizabeth Williams, Teresa Schiessler. And James Irwin, the priest. Sound effects by Dirk van Straten. Audio recording by Johan Stassen. The Vow was produced in Cape Town by Andre Botma.
Listen again at the same time next week when we shall bring you another comedy, drama, or play of suspense in Tuesday Theatre. We present plays from the four corners of the world. Comedy, drama, suspense, true life adventure in Tuesday Theatre.
We present The Wrong Girl by Glyn Day.
You're taking the bus home, Clara? Oh, no, Sally. John's picking me up at the corner at 5. He's taking me to dinner tonight. Oh, lucky you. Sam's popping round at 8 to watch telly. Oh, I don't know. I think he looks on me as a free telly girl, and that's that. Oh, Sally, if you could see your face. If only he would look at it sometimes, instead of at the telly. I might be a bit happier. Oh, never mind, dear. You can't make love to your television set. Well, sometimes I wonder. Oh, well. See you tomorrow. Righto, love. Bye. Bye. Oh, careful.
What for, lady?
You nearly knocked me over.
That's what I meant to do.
What?
Just act normally and you won't get hurt. Now, edge over to the side of the road. Don't try anything, lady. This knife is just a little bit sharp. Come on. Right. Come on. Now get into the car. Go on.
You want me? Where are you taking me?
Not so many questions, lady. Just sit tight and shut up, and you'll find out.
Klief die lug, tem die see, laat voordiens jou vryheid gee. Ons voorsien jou motor en stel sy tyd, vervang gesluite dele vir betroubaarheid. Egte onderdele, gewaarborg daarby, plus deskundige werk, als by ons te kry.
Met voordiens is jy in rad om die vleespad te vat.
Voordiens, reg van die wegtrek af.
Ek is so lief vir my ouma. Toe sy siek was, het ek nie geweet wat om te doen nie. Sy wou nie eers eet nie, maar mamma het vir haar Lucozade gegee en toe sê sy vir my,
Ansie, bring my japon. Ouma voel nou reg om op te staan.
Toe het ek sommer geweet sy voel baie beter.
Lucozade is ryk aan energiegewende glikose wat vinnig en maklik werk. En dit gee jou gestel net wat dit nodig het om vinnig te herstel. As siekte die een wat jy liefhet verswak, bou Lucozade krag op wat help met herstel.
Family radio and TV. The voices you know from your radio. The faces you see on your TV. The who's the reviews. The news behind the news.
What goes on behind the scenes?
Family radio and TV.
Voices and faces in faraway places.
Family radio and TV.
Hello?
Sally Bones?
Yes?
Are you the Sally Barnes who works at Amalgamated Printing?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure. John Rowe here.
Oh, you're Clara's...
Yeah. Yeah, you might say that. Look, Sally, I'm a little worried. Clara was supposed to meet me after work. We were going to have dinner together.
Oh, that's right, she told me. Oh, she was waiting for you when I left.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course I'm sure. Wasn't she there?
Oh, well, I was a couple of minutes late, see. I've been late before, though, and she's always waited for me. What time did you leave her there, then?
Well, it was about 4:45. Have you tried her flat?
Yeah, she ain't there. Do you think she could have gone somewhere else? I mean, did she mention anything to you?
No, nothing. Oh, except that she was meeting you. Oh, she couldn't be waiting somewhere else, could she?
No, I said on the corner outside your office. I looked around to see if she hadn't gone into one of the shops or something, had a cup of tea, you know. But there was no sign of her.
Oh, well, I don't know what to suggest, John.
All right, Sally. I just thought I might have got my days mixed up, you know. Well, she probably bumped into somebody and got chatting.
Yes.
It's my fault for being late, I suppose. Well, I'll try and ring her later from here to apologise. And if I can't get her, I'll ring her tomorrow at the office.
OK. I'll tell her you were worried.
OK, thanks. Bye.
Bye, John.
Who was that, lovey?
The Prime Minister.
Really?
No, you silly chump. It was John.
Well, who's John?
John Rowe. Clara's boyfriend. Clara wasn't there to meet him tonight. Funny. It's not like her at all.
Perhaps she's been kidnapped.
Oh, Sam.
I told you, lady. No questions. Now, come on. Come on.
Help me up.
Shut up, man.
You're hurting me.
Right. Now, through here. Mind the step. Come on. Down here. Come on. Stop struggling. There.
Ah, so you finally made it. Congratulations. My dear, do sit down. I'm sorry we had to drag you out here, but I'm sure you wouldn't have come had we sent you an invitation.
I want to know why you've brought me here, and who you are, and what you want of me.
All in good time. Did my fat friend here treat you well?
No, he did not.
She was a bit difficult to handle, boss.
Yes, I'm sure she was.
Well, what did you expect?
Precisely. I do apologise, but it was necessary. I apologise, too, for this room. Are you a connoisseur of wines? Unfortunately, it's not a well-stocked cellar, but you can guess the contents of most of the vats without looking at the labels.
Look, mister.
It's sad to see empty vats and empty bottles, is it not?
Look, mister.
A lord, actually. Yes. Believe it or not, I do have a claim to the aristocracy. Oh, I do apologise. Lord Joseph Davenport. But you may call me Joe. That is, if you wish to be friendly.
I have no wish to be friendly at all, Mr. Davenport.
Oh, pity. Well then, we'd better talk business, in a business-like way. Mike, bring those papers over here.
Sure, boss.
Now, Miss Barnes.
Barnes? I'm Clara Badley.
You are not Sally Barnes?
No, but that's me friend.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. What is this?
You fool!
Look here, boss.
Bungler, idiot!
I didn't know which one was which.
Obviously. The fact you just proved. Now, why on earth didn't you find out?
Well, by how, boss? I didn't know.
You've got a tongue in your head, haven't you? You could have asked. Quentin.
When you two have finished arguing, may I ask what you want with Sally?
Of course, you may ask, my dear Miss... I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Badley.
Miss Badley. You see, your friend has a sister living in France. Am I not right?
Yes, but I don't...
Of course you don't. We were hoping she would consent to do something for us. It's all explained in these papers here. Perhaps you would care to read them.
Printing. Good morning.
Morning. May I speak to Miss Badley, please?
Miss Badley's not in. Can I put you through to somebody else?
Oh, yeah, Miss Barnes, please.
Certainly. One moment, please. Type in Paul.
Hello, Miss Barnes.
Speaking.
Oh, hello, Sally. It's John here. Any news of Clara?
Oh, no, none at all, John. She wasn't at her flat this morning and she didn't phone the office or anything. I don't know what to think.
Oh, look, Sally, you must think, and you must think hard. Was there anything at all that she said or intimated that she might go somewhere else last night?
No. Well, I would have remembered if she had. You don't think... Well, Sam and I were joking last night, but I know it is far from a joke. He said that maybe she's been kidnapped.
Why did he say that?
I don't know, John. What are you going to do?
Oh, I'll give her folks a ring. Maybe they'll know something. She might have gone to stay with them. I can't think why, though. If she's not there... Well, I don't know, Sally. Perhaps I should inform the police.
Oh, no, the police?
Well, it doesn't make sense, does it? It seems as if something must have happened to her. She may be anywhere. Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Bradley. Yeah, it's John here. Yeah, I'm all right. Yes, I know. Well, we were going to come down this weekend. Look, Mr. Bradley, I don't want to worry you, but Clara didn't phone you or anything last night, did she? No. No, well, she was supposed to meet me at 5, and when I got there... Well, I admit I was a bit late, yeah. Well, she was nowhere to be seen. No, I tried her flat, and there's no reply. Well, maybe she did meet someone, yeah. All right, sir. Yeah, is Mrs. Badley all right? Yeah, fine. Yeah, well, I'm just probably worrying for nothing. Yeah, I will, yeah. Thank you.
And that's all there is to it, Miss Badley. I don't think the plan needs any further clarification, do you? Well, will you assist us?
No.
You refuse? Oh, dear. Well, we can't let you go now. You might tell somebody. Mike, tie her up. Come here. Come on.
No, you... Why? Leave me.
Come on.
Oh. Kick me, would you? Take that!
Mike, if you do that again, I'll tie you up. But first, I'll put a bullet through you. Now, tie her to the chair.
Come here, you.
No.
Come on. And you, young lady, you just tell me if he hurts you, right?
Let me go. Please. I won't tell anybody.
If you were to do what I asked you to do, you could tell whomsoever you liked afterwards, even Interpol.
No, I won't. Ever.
Pity. Come on, Mike. Make sure the door's locked behind you. Goodbye, Miss Badley. It has been a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, help me. Help me. Somebody.
Pick up the cup, pour in the tea, make it the right one for you and for me. That J.O.K.O. taste, so good and rich and strong, a blend of the best teas, especially Ceylon. Choco tastes great all the way down. Just pick up your cup and feel good all around. That J.O.K.O. taste for you and for me. When you're drinking Choco, then you're drinking tea. When you're drinking Choco, then you're drinking tea.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116,
Woodhouse?
I thought you'd like it, sir. It's the cream of margarines.
New golden spread superior. Sounds expensive.
It only tastes expensive, sir.
Awfully clever of you, Woodhouse. Not that money is of any concern.
Quite so, sir. New golden spread superior. It only tastes expensive.
Big, breezy, and a bloomin' good show. That's Sydney, curving round her bay where music sets sail beneath the tiled spinnakers of a scintillating opera house. And right here in the harbor city of big, bright Sydney, the cigarette is the mild one. Peter Stuyvesant's extra mild, modern, international. The mild cigarette for the taste of now.
Mike! Mike! Come here.
What is it, boss?
My dear unthinking clod. What is this I perceive upon the ground next to the car?
Looks like a scarf, boss.
It is a scarf, you fool. Miss Badley's scarf. She must have dropped it when you dragged her from the car. I've yet to meet a greater fool, both in size and intellect.
Well, gee, boss, she was struggling, you know.
Naturally.
Shall I go give it to her, then?
No. I want her to suffer for a little bit.
Why are you so worried about this scarf? I mean, you said there's nobody in Miles.
You can never be too careful.
Boss, I'm hungry. Can I go now? I mean, we've been standing around for nearly an hour, you know.
You think of nothing but your stomach, don't you? I'm trying to think intelligently what we must do next. And you think of food.
Well, why don't we just take her along with us as arranged?
How? With her hands tied behind her back and a gag in her mouth? Oh, don't be stupid. She must agree to accompany us without coercion. She's not a fool. When she realizes that it's much safer to come with us than to remain behind and possibly die of starvation, she'll choose to fall in with our plans.
Yeah, but what if she escapes or tries to make a run for it?
No, I don't think she'd do that. But if she does, you know what to do, don't you?
Yeah. Say, boss, I got the stuff you wanted. It's in the boot of the car.
Well, let's take a look at it then.
There you are, boss. It's just
not bad. At least you've managed to do something right for a change. Now, all we have to do is to persuade Miss Badley to carry it for us.
Is she gonna know about it?
No, of course not. I bought a very elegant, very feminine little suitcase. I think these will fit in quite comfortably. I lock it, keep the key on my person, hand it over to her to carry. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but if she'll do it.
She will. Have you ever dangled a carrot in front of a mule to make it walk?
No, boss.
I thought not. Come on, Mike. Let us depart.
Where to, boss?
To buy some food. Close and lock the boot.
Okay.
I think I know a way to make our young lady prisoner agree to abide by our wishes. Miss Badley. And how are you?
You swine! Release me once! Oh, let me go!
Dear. You have been struggling. Now look at those nasty cuts on your wrists. You shouldn't have done that, you know. You could have hurt yourself.
Would you let me go?
And I suspect you've been screaming. Not good for your voice, you know, not at all. Of course, I should have told you that calling for help was an utter waste of time. We're absolutely miles from anywhere, and no one ever passes this way. Are you hungry?
Yes, very.
I thought you might be. You see, I'm not really as cruel as you thought. I brought you some food
and a bottle of very good French wine. 1935. A good year, I think. Do you agree? But first, Miss Badley, perhaps we should have another little chat.
Please. Please. I've done nothing to you. I won't betray you or say anything. If you just let me free.
Do you know how long you've been here?
Hours.
No. Only 2. I wanted to give you the impression that we wouldn't be coming back. I'm not a murderer, Miss Badley, and I will release you as soon as you promise me one small thing.
What?
That you will go to France, as arranged, and do what I've asked you to do. Here are the tickets, you see. 1 return flight for you, and a single for Mike and myself. Now, will you come with us? Well?
Yes. I'll go with you.
Blank. An absolute blank.
What did the police say?
Oh, they're checking all the hospitals, hotels, stations, everything. They've sent out a general alert, full description, photo. They're doing everything they can, I suppose, but nothing makes sense. I mean, we must assume that something dreadful's happened to her. Oh, I was such a fool not to do something more constructive before.
What could you do?
Well, I didn't inform the police until about midday. That was nearly 19 hours after she disappeared. Anything could have happened.
Well, you weren't to know, were you?
Oh, I suppose not. I thought she'd gone home or something. Oh, I feel so helpless.
Sam, you haven't said anything all evening.
Hey? Oh, I've been thinking. If Clara is in trouble, well, she's not stupid.
Oh, what are you getting at?
Well, look here. If you were in trouble, I mean, like we said the other night, kidnapped, for instance, what would you do?
Well, I'd scream and shout and I'd try and escape.
But you can't escape. And you're too far away for anyone to hear your shouts and screams.
I don't know.
John, what would you do?
Well, it's difficult to say, isn't it? Well, we don't know the circumstances. It depends on how securely we're tied and that, and what our kidnappers want of us, how dangerous the situation is.
That's just it.
What, the danger? What do you mean?
No, what you said before. What our kidnappers want of us. If they wanted something...
Yeah?
And obviously they would want something if they kidnapped us. I mean, there must be a reason.
Well, unless it's some sort of madman.
True, but just suppose he wasn't. He wanted something.
Why he? It might be a woman.
Stop trying to confuse matters, love. If I was kidnapped and couldn't see a way clear to escape, you know what I'd do?
No, what would you do?
Look, I'm only trying to be helpful.
All right. Go on, Sam.
Well, I'd play along.
Play along?
Yeah, you know, go along with them. Until such time as I can get a message to someone or attract attention to myself.
Oh, really, Sam?
No, Sally, that's pretty logical. I can see what Sam's getting at.
Good. So, you see, I'm assuming a lot, I know. But if she were to contact anybody, and supposing she could, who would she contact?
Well, John, of course.
Yeah.
Well, so what are we doing here? We should be at John's place, sitting on that ruddy telephone, waiting for it to ring.
You're right. Come on, Sal.
By the way, John.
Yeah?
Have you got a telly?
Well, yeah, of course I have. Why?
My favourite programme's on in half an hour.
Oh, really?
I'm so glad you changed your mind, Miss Badley. Now you know what to do, don't you? When we reach the airport, I'll be on one side of you and Mike will be on the other. I advise you not to try to draw attention to yourself or to try to escape. I think you've more sense than that.
I thought you said you weren't a murderer, Mr. Davenport.
I'm not, but I said nothing about Mike. Right, here we are. Draw up as close to the entrance doors as possible, Mike.
Sure, boss.
Now, come along, my dear. You have the suitcase?
Yes.
Good. Get a move on, Mike.
Come in, boss.
Right. Now, let us talk of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kittens. So far, so good. Well done, Miss Badley. You act as if you had some experience.
At acting, yes. Not at this.
Oh, same thing, really. All the world's a stage and all that.
But not every man is a walrus.
Then Mike must be a carpenter. Any good at woodwork, Mike?
What's that, boss?
I asked if you were any good at woodwork.
Woodwork? What's it got to do with
Oh,
me?
forget it. Only one more hurdle, Miss Badley. The customs officials at the airport in Paris. Then we make our goodbyes, and you return quite safely on the next flight.
Yes. Mr. Davenport, do you think I could leave you for a minute?
Certainly not. Just stay where you are.
Oh, look, I give you me word that I will not communicate with anyone or do anything to attract attention to myself. But if you don't let me go, I will, unwillingly.
What do you mean?
Do I have to spell it out? I wish to powder me nose.
Oh, of course. Well, yes, I didn't think. Leave that suitcase with me. I'll be watching you, Miss Badley.
I'm sure you will. Thank you for being such a gentleman.
No, not at all. All right, Miss Badley. Now stick close to me. And don't show anybody that you're nervous.
If anyone asks, I've got a fever.
Good girl. Right. There's the customs gate over there. Good luck.
Thanks. I'll need it.
Thank you, Miss Badley, for a job well done.
May I go now?
No.
What? But you
There are 2 gendarmes watching us. Just keep walking and keep talking. Mike?
Yeah, boss?
Call a taxi. I think we'll take a little trip around town.
Taxi!
Don't you worry, Miss Badley.
Taxi!
I made you a promise, and on my honour as a gentleman, I mean to keep it.
Do you, Mr. Davenport? Well, I don't believe you. Let me go.
Hey! Mike! Mike! Come back here!
Yeah,
Come
boss,
back, Mike.
what was it?
She's got the suitcase.
Oh.
Suit her, and don't miss!
Hello?
Sally, news.
What?
Clara's in France.
In France? What's she doing there?
I don't know, but I think she's in trouble.
Well, how'd you find out?
Interpol. The yard just phoned me.
Oh.
Look, Sally, I want you and Sam to come over here and stick by the telephone just in case.
Where are you going?
Where do you think? I've got a ticket on the 7:15 flight. I'm off to Paris.
Daar's 'n badolie so uitsonderlik. Jy voel so sag en glad en rustig en ontspanne as jy daarin bad. En ure lank na badtyd sal jy nog so vars vertoon en voel jy nog fonkelfris en sag en skoon. Redox vochtgewende badolie met Vitamiin E. Bevochtig lank na badtyd. Van top tot teen voel jy fonkelfris en sag en skoon.
Headaches are vicious, striking with blinding intensity, draining all pleasure from life. But now there are new Grandpa Triple Action Formula tablets for rapid headache relief. Grandpa have combined their years of headache knowledge with the latest technology in a tablet that gives relief from pain, fever, and inflammation to help you enjoy life again. New Grandpa Triple Action Formula tablets for triple action relief.
Mademoiselle Batelet will see you now, monsieur. Oh, but only 5 minutes, please. It is past the usual visiting hours at the hospital.
Thank you, nurse. Clara? Clara?
Who's there?
It's all right, my love. It's me. It's John.
John, what are you doing here?
I came to see you, since you didn't turn up for our dinner date.
A dinner date?
Yes, don't worry. You're going to be up and about in a day or so, and I'm personally going to escort you home.
Do you know what happened?
Yes, everything.
Wish someone would tell me.
What do you want to know?
Davenport and Mike.
They're behind bars where they belong.
And the suitcase?
Well, apparently, they had to prise it from your fingers, but it's safe. And so are its contraband contents.
But why did they need somebody to take it for them? Why didn't they carry it themselves?
But you were a cover, a dummy. You were very necessary to their smuggling game. Oh, by the way, your friend Sally and her boyfriend Sam, they're safe too.
What do you mean, safe?
I asked them over to the flat, and they walked straight into the arms of Scotland Yard.
What?
Yes, my love. Your friend and her telly-watching boyfriend, They arranged your kidnapping very well, didn't they?
And I thought they wanted Sally. I thought they got the wrong girl.
No, dear. You're the right one. And always will be, for me.
You've just heard The Wrong Girl by Glyn Day, with Karen Short as Clara, John Dennison, Lord Joseph Davenport, and Henry Goodman, John. Also cast were Sue Trower, Frederick Abramser, Richard Farmer, and Andrea Fine. Production team, Alan Raby and Richard Deavy.
Listen again at the same time next week when we shall bring you another comedy, drama, or play of suspense in Tuesday Theatre.